Prepare yourself.
Oh, this is the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Hello again and welcome to the Cathedral of Wisdom for the Ninja Troll Digicast. My name is Tim Dixon, and I am here with, as always, Professor Pixel, the strange visitor from the misty borderlands, Mike Worth.
Why can't I be from the antimatter universe or something cool?
You could have been, but the misty borderlands was so cool.
It sounds like a
It had
spa.
it had a lounge. It had like
did.
groovy like lava lamps and big chairs and stuff.
It did. And groovy
I'd hang out
lamps. I'm sure, but I don't think the internet's good.
It doesn't have good Wi-Fi. That's the bad part about the misty borderlands.
No.
Well, this is the Ninja Troll Digicast. This week we're going to take a look at, in our Exploring the Multiverse segment, we're going to take a look at Earth S. This one is we've been looking forward to.
Yeah.
We've went through Earth 1, 2, 3, A,
Yep.
X, and now we're getting to Earth S, which is the
land of the Marvel family.
Basically, yeah, the land of Shazam. That's where the S comes
Shazam.
from.
Yeah.
So all the characters that came with
Is it Wiz Comics?
is it Wiz Comics?
That
Yeah,
was the title. But who was it that
I
owned
think the company
Shazam?
itself was no, it wasn't Quality. Quality was the one that had the had Plastic Man.
That's right. And
Fawcett
Comics.
Fawcett Comics.
Cool.
Yeah, so that when National Publications, which was what it was called then, bought Fawcett Comics, they got all those characters, so they incorporated them in and made it Earth S, and that's
what do we do with them?
Yeah, that's where they came from. So we get to see, finally, after 20 plus years of nerds arguing about who would win in a fight, Superman or Captain Marvel, we finally get to see them clash.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting. So that's coming up in our Explore the Multiverse segment. Also, we're going to take a character spotlight on the new big bad that's coming to the Flaro universe. He's going to show up in the crossover this year between Flash and Arrow at mid-season.
Cool.
And he's going to be the big bad for Legends of Tomorrow, the first season that's coming up.
Awesome.
Vandal Savage. So we're going to take put a character spotlight on him, tell you his origins, where he comes from, what he can do, various
maybe what we're in store for. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yes. And also, of course, always we've got the movie and TV news that's coming out this week. But this past Sunday, we were part of the Charlotte Comic-Con.
Yes.
And we had an awesome time. We were actually at separate tables. Mike had a table in the artist room, the jam-packed artist room.
Very hot, very sweaty.
Yes, it was. Very hot, very sweaty. I was actually manning the Ninja Troll table in the cosplay room, which not quite as packed, but still just as sweaty.
It opened later, right? They had a timing conflict.
They actually had a family reunion that had their breakfast in there.
Did they all come dressed as superheroes too?
No, they did not. Unfortunately,
awesome.
they came dressed as elderly people eating breakfast. So yeah, we got there with I had the tubs of stuff like stickers and stuff that we were going to give out, and my laptop and everything.
And they were putting their teeth back in.
They're like
to wrap up.
They're sitting around talking to Great Aunt Sally or whatever on the table, and the hotel staff, God bless them, they were ready. As soon as their time was up, they hit it and they flipped the room, but they were still sitting there at the table. Several tables still had people sitting at them talking while they're breaking down other tables and rolling them out. So it was a very not so subtle, hey, get up and get out kind of message.
Well, we got to give a big thank you to Rick Fortenberry and Dave. I forget Dave's last name.
Dave from Dave Comics.
Dave's from Dave's Comics. That's right. There are our two hosts.
Mm-hmm.
We contacted them. They were gracious enough to let us join. We're sort of from out left field, and I mean, I had a great time.
Oh yeah, it was
really
a lot
was
of
amazing.
Fun. And Carrie Marks also. Carrie Marks was in charge of the cosplay room and in charge of the contest, and she had everything working perfectly. She was, as soon as we got there, she let us know where we could set up, and everything was really cool. And really want to thank her a lot. And after I broke down, I was getting ready to leave. The hotel manager came in there and told her that the unofficial number of people there was 2,100.
Get out of here. Oh man, wow! I don't think that venue can hold it much longer.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the thing. I mean, the cosplay room was fine. We had a little room to expand a little bit. It wasn't nearly as uncomfortable as it has been in the past for them, from what she was saying. But everywhere else, the toy room, I don't know how much you got out of the artist room.
Barely, yeah. Like to eat and go to the bathroom once.
Yeah,
I got one break.
Yeah. But the toy room was more packed than the artist room.
Wow.
It was like claustrophobic kind of.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was really, really packed. And I think at one point, I don't know if it actually wasn't working, or or they just thought it wasn't working because there was so many people in there. But they were stopping people and saying, hey, the air's not working in there. We don't want any more people to go in because it's going to get too bad.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was really packed.
And we saw Marcus there.
Yes, Marcus, our friend from the 501st. He was there as a TIE pilot, and there for a while he was
crewman.
A crewman, just so he didn't have to wear the helmet, so he could go around and look at stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult to see out of that helmet for him. So like when I've been walking around places and somebody will come up, hey, can my son get a picture? And he's like, okay, direct me to where I need to be, because he can't see the kid.
Down.
Yeah, he can't see the kid, so he's afraid to step on him.
Oh.
I should be his wrangler. I should just go along and go and like put him where he needs to be, and then place the child, and then we can take a picture.
Get a little hook for him or something.
There you go.
Lead him,
Just lead him where he needs to be.
And then we, the Sketch Charlotte guys, we did Herc, John, Brandon, Carla, Stanford. We did a panel in the panel room, which was great around midday. It was pretty cool. So it was like a bunch of folks who were just interested, like, hey, I want to start drawing, and we were the ones to be able to say, like, well, if you want to come down, we'll take anybody. It's like we're of all abilities. We just sort of love this, and we wanted to sort of share that, and we're hoping membership increases a little bit.
That's cool. I keep saying I got to go, and it just never happens.
I mean, it's at Showmars, Tim.
I know, yeah.
Like, I kind of have fallen in love with the Euro platter at Showmars.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's cool to go and draw, but damn, that Euro platter.
Delicious pita burger.
Oh, my God. Some tzatziki sauce and a big old sweet tea. You got to peel me out of there.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. I'm glad that I'm now going back to cons again, because it was like the 90s last time I was at a con before I really started hitting them, now promoting the Ninja Troll. But now that we have tables at these cons, I don't get to go to the panels.
Yeah, no,
and that's the kind of the thing that
different
sucks.
Experience, absolutely. And now at cons now, you can use your cell phone, whereas previously you were like, hey, just beat me when you get to the con.
Yeah.
Right? Page me on my pager, which was a little different.
Yeah, it was a lot different.
So things have changed. And like, all right, overwhelmingly, cosplay, every con I go to now, cosplay is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It just seems like soon there's going to just be cosplay cons, and that's
I'm sure they do have ones that are just cosplay. And like I said, I was there in the cosplay room, and so when we were at Heroes Con, we kind of had with John, the guy we split the table with, the artist that we know. We kind of had a running joke of keeping a tally of how many Deadpools and Harleys.
I saw you guys posting this. This was funny.
And the problem is, and we got there, the cosplay room opened late. So we got there, we were setting up, but it hadn't actually opened.
Right.
And I saw his post on Facebook about, he's getting ready to count them up. And I texted him, I said, I've already seen 3 Deadpools and 2 Harleys, and the door of the cosplay room hasn't even opened yet.
It's not definitely even the most popular.
Oh, yeah. And as soon as the doors open, I lost count, like that. I mean, it was ridiculous.
10 variations of Harley.
And that's the thing. We should start counting variations.
Yeah, right.
Because there was a pirate Deadpool.
Cool.
I saw a for lack of a better term, a gentleman Deadpool, with the top hat and the whole like a
Abraham Deadpool.
Basically, yes, yeah. That's a very good good description. But yeah, I think we should start counting variations of Deadpool and Harley now.
Well, there was this young man who came up to my table, and he sort of shared with us that he was basically sort of kicked out of the cosplay or disqualified because he bought most of his costume.
Okay.
Whereas I think the rules are you have to really fashion your own and sort of
Huh.
make it, which I was never aware of.
I didn't realize that either.
I thought it was like whoever comes and looks the greatest
Yeah.
is the winner. But yeah, he was sort of griping with us because like he had, I guess, didn't make the.
Was he a Deadpool?
No, he was. He played one of the Assassin's Creed characters, like one of the main guys.
Okay.
Who had the hood and he was blue. He was from Black Flag. He had the two little sort of flintlock pistols. He had like a sword. He had like the thing from his wrist that made the blade come out, like the knife. I mean, it was awesome.
I didn't realize you. Well, I mean, I guess some of the stuff you're going to have to buy, but
But they want you to make it all.
Hmm.
Like I think he had too many created things
okay.
that he just bought. So I don't know. Maybe they thought it was maybe they're taking the Boy Scout approach.
I guess so. Yeah.
DIY or die. I guess. So.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. Yeah. That's. But yeah, there was a lot of. I think probably the most impressive was Iron Patriot.
Oh yeah.
That dude looked really,
he was
really
shiny.
good. Yeah,
Like, he got like buffed before he walked.
yeah,
in.
he was really, really good. That and they had there was a Master Chief
right.
that looked really good.
I saw them posing together.
Yeah.
Which was a cool
I think
kind of
that
mashup.
was a family.
Oh,
It
okay.
was because they were the Master Chief, Iron Patriot, and another
Armored.
person. I think it was supposed to a Halo. I haven't played Halo in a long time, so I don't know if it's another character from Halo or what. But it was like 3 armored people came in at the same time, so I kind of assumed it was Dad, and then 2 kids.
Nice.
So, but yeah, the adult that won.
Yeah. Who won?
I got to give him props because his outfit was Hagrid from Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
And he had really.
I thought he was just legitimately Hagrid. Like.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. He has really, really long hair, really long beard.
Yeah.
But for his costume, he did the heavy
coat.
overcoat
Right.
in August.
Yeah. Which.
So-
you get owed to nerd.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
not a-
well. See,
not
that was another thing. Before the contest started, they got them all together and they did a parade. So they went all the way through the con. I think they went all the way through all the rooms.
Okay.
Just to kind of parade everybody. Then they went outside to take their group picture.
Oh boy.
So
Schwitzed.
all out into the August heat to take a picture. Then they came right back into the room. So yeah, it was a little musty in the cosplay room for for a while.
Damn.
But yeah, like I said,
Mommy, why do my favorite heroes stink?
yeah,
Because they're human beings.
exactly, they
Yeah.
are.
Oh man.
But yeah, you got to give it up for Hagrid to do that costume. Yeah, he won that. Then I think the adult category, second place was Evil Queen of Hearts.
Okay.
And she had a full on ball gown with the huge hoop skirt.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Like 16th century. Like
Yes.
80
yes.
pounds, 10
Mhm,
degrees. Wow.
Yeah, it was impressive. But Iron Patriot was really good. Master Chief. There was, like you said, a huge handful of Deadpools. There was a roller skate Harley
Awesome.
that was in the
Like
adult
a roller
category.
disco kind of.
Yeah,
Awesome.
And bless her heart, she looked comfortable on the roller skates, but not completely. It was like every once in a while you'd see that look of panic on her face, like one of her feet was getting ready to go.
Why couldn't I have been like golf cleat Harley?
Yeah, that would have been much better. Yeah.
But man, I got this. So I traded up. I got this print from my
Nice.
friend Brandon and Brandon Paget, Big Dog Studio. He's a killer artist.
He was right next to you, right?
Yeah, he's right
Okay.
next to me. Brandon got me into sketch. He's been like the best kind of big brother in the whole sort of
Cool.
thing there. But this was he does these chibi heads, sort of big head. I think we'll take a picture of this. I think he'll love
Yeah.
that we posted it. But of Dark Knight Returns. So Frank Miller's like original sort of feeling gritty illustration.
Yeah.
But with sort of the big head, a little body.
Yeah.
And man, like I just kept eyeing this print like all day. You know, I was drawing, doing my work and stuff. I was like, damn, I really love one of those. So like, you know, it's like something about the end of the day. It's like the magic hour.
Oh, yeah.
At cons.
Yeah.
The deals happen, the favors happen, that sort of stuff. So I was
Yep.
like, hey Brandon, what would you
I'll trade you.
or whatever? But he was gracious enough to just give it to me.
That's cool.
So that
That's
was
cool.
that was awesome. He didn't sign it though. So yeah, no eBay for this one.
Dang it.
Yeah. But I gave you a Rorschach drawing.
Yes.
And how you feeling about that?
I love it. It's up in my office now. It is.
I
It's
can
actually
see it.
it's
I'm proud of you.
hanging in my office, facing the front door. So anybody that comes into the office is being stared at by Rorschach.
Hearn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So-
Timmy, I need you to do something. Right? Hearn. But I wanted to tell you, twofold here. Some lady came over to the Ninja Troll table, saw that, and then came over afterwards. And was
cool.
Like, do you have another one?
Nice.
And
Is
I
she
was
the
like-
one that took the one that Addie had stepped on?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Well, it's Eleanor. Yeah,
Oh,
my
okay,
daughter
okay.
Eleanor. I did a drawing of Rorschach. I put it on the floor just because I don't have drying racks in my studio. And she came over and did a little Dougie on it, and then rolled out. And I was like, "Thanks, child." I even said that to her, so I gave her like $5 off, and she was still happy to have it. I
Yeah.
think she just was such a fan.
Yeah, because that was the thing. It was sitting there like leaning against the wall behind me, and that like we would talk about to people about the podcast, and I would go, hey, and this right here, yeah, this was done by the guy who hosts the podcast with me. He's in the artist room. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Because like if people weren't buying my stuff, I was like, grab a sticker here, Ninja Troll.
Yeah,
check this all out, made by my friend. All right, so we were celebrating each other.
Cross-pollinating there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we had a blast there at Charlotte Comic Con. There's another one coming up in
In the winter.
in December.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure of the thoughts of whether they've outgrown the venue or not yet.
We'll
I know
see.
December's planned there,
Mhm.
so I don't know if they're gonna think about that. But when the guy came in and told Carrie the unofficial number was 2,100, she's like,
She was
"That's
like, damn."
the biggest they've ever had."
Yeah, I heard Rick speaking to somebody about it. He said that it was a record, but I had no context of
Yeah.
numbers or anything. It's all I heard was that it was just really
Yeah,
big.
and well, we did a drawing at the Ninja Troll table for a piece of art that I had created, and it was just a free drawing, so anybody could throw in their name to the hat. And I know I didn't count officially count all of them, but I know we had over 100 names
Awesome.
in the hat in the drawing.
100 people will be sending annoying
That's right.
blasts too. No, we're just kidding. We're just
Not
kidding.
too much.
We're bringing
Maybe
you in.
one or two.
Yeah, we'll send you maybe one or two things. Right? If we do cons, for example,
Yeah,
that's important.
And actually,
information.
that's the thing coming up. We've got a couple ones coming up. CatsyCon is a new one that's going to be in Morganton on September 19th.
Nice.
That one actually I'll be at. Mike won't be able to make that
Yep.
one, but
Yep.
I'll be there aggravating people. So then I'm trying to get a hold of the people with the Soda City.
Down in Columbia.
Yeah, down in Columbia, Soda City Comic Con. I sent them an email the other day. I don't know. Oh, I did the form on their website, so I don't
Okay.
know. I might try to see if I can touch base with them again.
Cool. I'm doing one day of that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna roll. Yeah.
that's the first weekend of October.
Right.
So, and it's not a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think it's just a Friday, Saturday.
Is it?
I think.
Okay.
I might need it. May be Saturday, Sunday instead. I don't know. I'll have to look and see, but
Okay.
but
That's
yeah, I haven't
exciting.
heard.
I hear that's a good one.
Yeah. There's the first I heard about it. There's one I'm thinking about November, the NC Comic Con, the one in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I don't know. I'll have to check and see. I don't even know if they've got tables still available. So that's I think that's a pretty big one.
Okay.
So
Probably. It sounds like it.
yeah. So, but
I mean, we're heroes spoiled, so it's
exactly, yeah. So we've got we'll have some con appearances coming up. We'll always have those on both our Facebook page and our website, NinjaTrollDigicast.com. So keep looking at that, and if you're going to be at those cons, please come by, stop, and let us know that you listen to the Ninja Troll. We'll give you free stickers. Of course, we'll give you that if you stand still in front of the table, we'll give you stickers.
Oh, we'll just put one on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Come give us high five.
There you go.
Yes.
Something else I wanted to talk about before we really kick into the movie and TV news. This was something that was really interesting that I ran across. Everybody knows the movie Argo that came out a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, Argo yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Right about the Iranian hostage situation.
Exactly, and that was all based on a real. It's a true story that they used a fake movie production to get into Iran to get these hostages out of there.
Did Jack Kirby write it?
Jack Kirby did the concept artwork
that they carried with
that
them
they
in the
carried
movie.
with them.
Get out of here! That's so cool.
That it was a Lord of Light. It was supposed to be an adaptation of a Robert Zelazny, one of the biggest science fiction books in probably, I think it was in the 60s. They were going to make that into a movie. So he did these
Storyboards and
psychedelic storyboards of all this different
got
stuff.
Got it up here. It's
It's
beautiful.
crazy looking. And it's beautiful, beautiful work.
Yeah, here's some
and
of
this was
the
after
color.
he had retired from comics.
So he had done New Gods,
Yes, this was
Right.
all after he had retired from comics.
which is
and-
groovy unto itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so the producer that was working on this stuff contacted him and had him do these concept drawings, and then it really didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
And the group that was going to do this little excursion into Iran basically bought that stuff, and the guy didn't know about it. He didn't know that they had used this stuff until he saw Argo a couple of years ago.
Get out of here. So they just bought this concept art
Yep.
thinking like, oh, yeah, whatever. It's,
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
Yeah, but his artwork is absolutely nuts.
Oh, wow. Well, here, look, Lord of Light, and then...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Argo,
right, for
yeah.
Argo. Oh, my God. Man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I was a little skeptical about, it all and everything, but, there was so many of those sort of rich details. And
Yeah.
You do catch a glimpse a little bit of the artwork.
Of the artwork, yeah.
In the movie, in fact. Wow, that's so
And-
wonderful to
and
know it's Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby's grandson posted. I don't know if it was this week. I just ran across I think it was a LA Times article that I posted on the Facebook page, our Ninja Troll Facebook page, so you can go check it out there. But his grandson ran across a bunch of other concept work. So can you imagine what
man.
they have?
Yeah, just locked away.
His family just has it's just a box. There's stuff in it. He goes through it and he finds some of this stuff. It's like I can't even imagine the stuff that they just have laying around.
I mean,
at their
imagine,
house.
and look, as an artist, right? You throw a lot away, right? And it's like, and to be at a level of Jack Kirby,
Oh,
even the
yeah.
stuff he threw away is probably
Oh yeah,
gold,
It's
right?
phenomenal.
And then to save it, that means he actually gave 2 issues about it, and
Yeah.
he put it in a box for
Yeah.
something later.
Yeah,
So that's awesome, man. I hope
That-
we keep finding little gems like this.
yeah. That may be a spotlight we do very soon
Jack
on
Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
Yeah, he's
We
the
may have
man.
to do it in 2
right.
to split.
Totally. I mean that early time, and then New Gods, and now this
Yeah.
apparently. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
His later years.
Yeah, but I think that's something. If you don't know who Jack Kirby is, do yourself a favor.
Yes.
And
Google that shit.
Google
Yeah.
that shit. Exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, I just thought that was a really cool. I didn't realize that was the case, that his connection to the whole thing was his concept art, and the concept art.
His purchased concept art.
Yeah.
Right. It's like,
and the artwork is just crazy.
yeah, I bet.
Crazy out of this world. Yeah, it was very psychedelic stuff, which fits perfectly. I mean, the project they were working on was Lord of Light,
Right.
which was like a psychedelic kind of science fiction novel, so it fit perfectly. So, but yeah, I just thought that was a really cool thing that came out this week that I wanted to talk about. But let's go ahead and jump into the movie and TV news.
Let's, Timmy.
The biggest first thing
Oh,
we got to talk about Fantastic
okay.
Four.
What's the tomato rating as of today?
Oh,
Have
I don't
we
even
looked?
know. It's been dumping. Last week during the show, like we had looked at it, I'd looked at it that morning before we did the show, and it was at 20%. Then during the show, we looked at it, and it was down to 18.
It's like we blinked and it
Then
moved.
John posted the next day 9.
Oh, Lord.
So it's been
I saw
plummeting.
he took a shot of it. And then he showed Roger Corman's version like a...
It got better. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Tomato meter is 9%.
Okay, so it's holding steady at 9%.
Yeah.
That's I'll assume. It's like I said, I never quite understand the tomato score.
I don't know.
Whether
Right, it's
there's
like,
2 different. It seems like there's 2 different things.
yeah, there's the audience score and then the tomato meter at least how they
Then
break
what's
it
the
down.
difference? I mean,
I'm not totally sure. I mean,
I
it's
don't-
kind of like
yeah.
Amazon's algorithm or Pandora. It's like,
It's
okay, why do
kinda
you want to
weird.
play The Cure after I just played Iron Maiden? You know, but 23% on the audience liked it.
yikes.
Average
That's-
rating 2.1.
That's pretty low.
Ugh.
And I'm not going to point out the fact that last year
Yeah.
I said that I thought this was going to be a steaming pile. I'm not going to point that out.
Well, there was so much change built into it.
I think
You
that
know-
was unfortunately that was the thing, and they kept talking about this was a bold new vision, and this was going to change superhero movies. And anytime they come with over the top stuff like that, it's a red flag to me. People
Right.
that actually come up with bold new visions
Don't say that.
don't say that.
They just do it.
They don't. The ones that change the way movies are made just do it.
That's right.
So shut up about it and just make a good movie. And that was the problem. It just, I mean, I haven't seen it myself, and most probably I won't. I'm not going to pay to go see it.
I'll tell you what.
When it shows up somewhere free. Like if it
like on
does
the street on fire.
if
Yeah.
it does make its way to Netflix, I'll watch it. Or Amazon Prime.
But here's the deal: it's only $3 million behind Mission Impossible, which is the top-grossing film, which has a 92% rating.
Wow.
Yeah,
How's that happen?
28.5 top box office. Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation or whatever it is.
Did that just open?
I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Mission Impossible guy.
Or did that open today?
Oh, Mission Impossible.
It may have opened today.
Did that would be awful.
That would be, yeah. It finished behind. I think it was the lowest superhero.
No, it came out the 31st.
Okay,
Yeah, the lowest superhero movie grossing since what?
since Green Lantern, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn, that sucks. Yeah, it's 28.5 million with a 92% tomato meter, 91% audience score, like just crushing it. Only made 28.5 million.
Wow.
That's just the state of movies, I think.
Yeah.
And then Fantastic Four is just behind it with 25.7 million
Huh.
and a 9% tomato meter.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you that a lot of people were willing to go see it.
Yeah.
A lot of people were, and a lot of money's been spent on the film. So it's like that's sort of bitter sweet there because we're
Yeah.
gonna have Fantastic Four 2.
They keep talking that they're gonna do a sequel, and to me, it's like, are you trying to just stick it to Marvel?
I wonder.
I don't understand it. I don't know.
This
I
is
think
Fox, right?
yes, that is Fox.
It's Fox. So it's not. It's the same as X-Men. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're gonna win with Deadpool. Deadpool's gonna
Yeah.
crush and make that franchise awesome again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is this a loss leader? Like what? I mean, this
I don't
sucks in the sort of superhero goodness vibe.
Yeah,
Meter.
and
It's a low average for
I really would. I want Fantastic Four
to be great.
To be
right?
great, yeah, because it's a good story. And a lot of people hated the. When did the others come out? It was like 2000.
Yeah, they were early 2001 or
Yeah.
something like that.
I didn't hate those. They weren't great, but I didn't hate them.
Yeah, no, I mean they were decent, right?
Decent.
I mean, Jessica Alba had too much blonde, dye in her hair. I guess
Yeah.
if that's something.
Well,
can do.
and they just recently did the Screen Junkies did an honest trailer
Oh no,
for that.
for that one.
And
Oh, those
and
are
that's
funny.
one thing. If you've never seen honest trailers,
Oh, they're great.
do yourself a favor. Block out at least 6 hours. But
that
I
how
do
much you
that
need?
every time I go. I watch the new honest trailer, and then I'll spend at least an hour
Going back on.
going back to watch ones I've seen before.
Awesome. Is there like a Purple Rain honest trailer? Because then I would feel
No.
like they're really thorough.
I don't think that. I mean, and people suggest the ones that they
Oh,
do
that'd be
because
great.
that's the beginning of each honest trailer is tweets of, hey, do Fantastic Four, something like that.
Cool.
And in the honest trailer of Fantastic Four, they talk about they take a Mexican actress, put a blonde wig on her and blue contacts, and nobody bats an eye,
Oh my god.
but have a black guy play Johnny Storm, and everybody
Everybody
goes
loses their
nuts.
damn mind. Yeah, right. Right. What a standard. Fantastic. But you got to admit, so two things that were cool. Silver Surfer was really cool in the second movie.
Yeah.
that did the CG brilliantly for that.
Yeah.
Galactus,
was
awful.
horrible. Yeah.
But nobody noticed that Chris Evans became Captain
Yep.
America, right?
Yeah, they make mention of that as well in the Honest trailer. But yeah, that was. I mean, I think he did well as Johnny Storm.
He was great.
I think he does better as Captain America.
Yeah.
But he had that right kind of. I mean, Johnny Storm is kind of like the fighter pilot.
Right.
He's not a pilot, but he has that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
He's the
Hot dogging,
Yeah.
showboating.
Exactly. So he has that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And you need that kind of bravado
To be the Human Torch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am interested. I do want to see the Fantastic Four. I'm just not plunking down $11-12.
Nope. I'm
At
bringing
the
my own
theater.
Raisinets.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, that's my candy of choice. If you haven't noticed.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So,
But in better news,
in better news, yeah, Constantine will appear in the
Yeah.
upcoming season of Arrow.
cool.
That and he actually, his appearance will play a big part in Legends of Tomorrow. I don't think he's going to be in Legends of Tomorrow,
okay.
but what he does on Arrow, because he's going to be a part of bringing Sarah back to life.
Oh.
Because when Thea was
give
put
us a quick. I think it would be a great character sketch for you to do for Constantine.
for Constantine,
coming up. But give us a quick. So does he have resurrection powers? What's his sort of?
to tell you the truth, he's a detective. I know that. I
Okay.
don't know a lot about his character because I never read Hellblazer. I know he's a detective and he has supernatural powers. He kind of helps people along, and that's what he's going to be doing because Thea was brought back from the dead in the Lazarus pit, but she wasn't. She was only mostly dead, to use a Princess Bride thing. And I know that may be a spoiler for you because you're not quite there, but you got that look on your face. You got that spoiler look on your face.
I'm spoiled.
But when Thea was brought back to life, like I said, to use a Princess Bride line, she was only mostly dead.
Yeah.
Sarah's been dead a while.
Yeah.
So there's ramifications to that.
So she might be.
And
a zombie
he
or
comes
something.
he comes into the picture to deal with that,
Wow.
to help deal with that. So yeah, we might need to do like a look at Constantine because, like I said, I don't know a huge amount
He's
about
interesting,
him.
right? He's
Yeah.
really, and it's unfortunate the show was canceled, but like I'm glad there's still use. Is it going to be the same actor? Who
Yes.
will-
Yep.
great.
Yep. He signed on to do that. So
Cool.
it's going to be like a one-off thing. It's not going to be at least for right now, it's not a recurring thing.
Okay.
But he will deal with Sarah's resurrection.
Cool.
Also in Arrow news, Rutina Wesley, who played I've forgotten her character's name. She's on True Blood.
I don't know.
I can't remember her name. I have to look that up.
Nerd fail.
I haven't watched.
Yeah, I haven't watched that show.
I haven't watched True Blood since like the first season.
I just remember that first episode where the guy with the Confederate flag hat is the vampire,
Oh yeah,
and that was
I love
kinda
the-
like,
I love
wow,
the show. I
This
watched
might be a
that.
really good show.
yeah. I got it from because I don't have HBO. I have to wait for the DVD.
Yeah.
And I got the first season from my sister-in-law, and I sat there and binged on it. And then,
Nice.
but then there's nothing else out, so I was like, okay, now
What do you do?
I just don't think about it for a while. Now I haven't watched it for a long time. She played Tara in True Blood,
Okay.
but she has signed on to play Lady Cop, which is not as generic of a
her-
term
really?
as you think.
Okay.
That's just what the character was called.
She's
She,
not like laughing lady too.
no. It's not the uncredited role. It's Lisa Warner. She's a member of the anti-vigilante task force, which, from what they're saying, the reason they have now it's to a full-blown anti-vigilante task force is because there's going to be more vigilante activity. And what that means for the show, I don't know who's going to be, because Oliver's left.
Yeah. Well,
So are we getting more?
well,
Are we getting more
Thank
people?
you for that too.
Oh, crap. You've got to catch up.
I know. Well, he's dead now. He's dead. Well, no, that
Okay.
he got found on the side of the mountain after
Okay.
Raj stabbed him and
Yeah.
kicked him off the ledge or whatever.
Okay, so you are catching up. You're at that's mid-season.
Yeah.
So you don't have far to go.
No, I don't know. And yeah, it's on Hulu, so I got to get it weekly.
Okay.
So it's like Thursday's exciting for me.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay. So Oliver's gone, so he's not a vigilante anymore.
Yeah, well,
Or
he's
present.
He's
Yeah.
decided that he's going to take some time off, I think is what he said.
Okay.
So are we getting more people being recruited, or so it is going to be interesting for the premiere.
Well, I've been seeing Diggle wear the suit, or sometimes not, but still have the bow.
Yeah, just to basically to get
to fill a seat.
He pulled an Alfred. He
Yeah.
got see Oliver's over here, he's over there in the Arrow outfit. Alfred would do that every once in a while to act like Batman.
So it's like a black arrow. It's like, well, why not? It worked in Blazing Saddles.
That's right.
Right, but there's no mustache. Like Alfred's mustache would always
Alfred's
creep out of the cowl.
And the fact that he's an old man and he was taller than Batman, that's neither here nor there.
Right. And frailer, right? It's
yeah.
Yeah.
Moves like Tim Conway.
Yeah.
But they've also cast a new love interest,
Mm-hmm.
Alicia Rotaro, but she's going to be a love interest in the flashbacks, not in the current day.
Okay. Because we haven't seen, we're still seeing Oliver sort of working for Argus and sort of discovering himself a little bit more,
Yes.
getting better at torture and all those
Yes.
great things.
Yes, all
yeah.
that fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, he will have a love interest in the flashbacks.
Sweet.
And Stephen Amell, not Arrow, but Stephen Amell will be taking on Stardust
Yes.
in the WWE on SummerSlam, which
SummerSlam.
I'm not sure when SummerSlam is.
It's usually in August, right? End of
Yeah,
August.
it's in. I
It's
just
always
don't know.
before school started.
I don't know the date.
Okay.
August 23rd.
Cool.
So it's a couple weeks now.
Nice.
But he will be teaming with Neville, who used to be the NXT champion. If you know WWE, NXT is like their like AAA. It's their developmental area.
Gotcha. Okay.
He has just come up to the main roster. He's tag, and it's a pretty. I mean, anytime a celebrity comes into the WWE, that's a big. It's a big spot to be in.
Yeah.
To be partnered with him. So it's Stephen Amell and Neville versus Stardust and Wade Barrett, or he's calling himself King Barrett now.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun. He's a very athletic guy. That's the good thing.
Stephen Amell.
Yes.
Well, we saw the rush to the Stardust kind of rip them out.
He went Danny Hodge. I mean, you don't know who Danny Hodge is, but
Just lay it on me, Tim. I'm going to nod and say yeah.
Yeah, Danny Hodge used to be. He was a wrestler out of Oklahoma, and he was an amateur wrestler, and so he was very athletic, and that's how he came into the ring. He would jump up to the ring apron, and he would go up over the top rope. He would jump over into the ring.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was the first thing I thought when he did that. He's by no means a smooth performer.
No.
In the wrestling sense, but I think Stardust is one of the best in the business right now.
And to bring Stephen Amell in like that, I mean,
and he'll take care of him. And Neville is phenomenal, and Barrett's a lot of fun to watch. So it'll be a fun match.
Cool.
He'll probably take a little beating, then he'll get to Neville will take the majority of the beating.
Yeah.
Then he'll get to come in and
save the day.
Make the save.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
And the backstage stuff that he did with Triple H after, because we saw that where he jumped Stardust.
I didn't see the afterwards.
Yeah, and Triple H specifically called him Green Arrow a couple times, and even referred to Neville as Red Arrow.
Oh, I wonder if they're going to camp it up.
I don't know.
DC and Warner Brothers would have to allow that.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be fun. But Stephen Amell is a huge wrestling fan. And he talks about wrestling all the time on his Facebook page, on his social media. So he's wanted to do this for a long time.
Well, good for him. I'm excited about it because when I
Yeah.
saw that clip, I was pumped
Yeah.
because he sprung right into action.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, the good thing is I have the WWE Network, so I can watch it for free. Well, not for free.
Wow.
I pay for it every month, but which that now, I mean, and the main event of SummerSlam is Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, which is a pretty big deal too.
Wow.
So,
Undertaker's still around. That's unbelievable.
yeah, he only does like one match a year.
Oh my lord. Well, he's old.
He's
now.
not exactly spry.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
So that should be a lot of fun. In X-Files news, Annabeth Gish will return as Monica Reyes. She'll be joining Mitch Pileggi, who's playing Walter Skinner, William B. Davis as the Smoking Man,
Ooh.
as all returning to play their characters from the original
role.
series.
Wow. Will he be the vaping man?
That's the thing.
We
I
asked
don't
that
know if
before,
he's
I know.
going to be like Nicotine Patch Man or
Chewing the gum.
or
Hey,
I mean, or is he gonna? I mean, will they make mention? Is he gonna be Tracheotomy Man?
oh my God. Right. Scully, I have information. Oh, that's not
I
nice.
mean, they
Yeah.
gotta have to
Oh man.
do something. I mean, because he smoked for a long time.
Yeah.
So
Unless he's got alien technology
I
or
don't know.
something. Yeah.
But Mulder and Scully are not a couple anymore. Apparently,
Boo.
I know. Because in one of the scenes that they showed somewhere, she says, "Mulder, as your colleague and your friend, you need to let this go," or something like that. So
So would they have been broken up, or would they just have never been together?
No, I think they're
How are they
going
gonna
from
set it
the. I think the movies are included in the
lexicon.
timeline, basically.
Oh wow.
So they were together at
Yeah.
one point. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they're not including them, and it's just like when the
Fresh.
TV series ended. That's when, because I think they got together in the movies.
I never saw the movies.
Okay, I
Yeah.
don't think I did either. Actually, we'll have to ask Carpenter. He'll know.
Yes.
Our Chris Carpenter is our resident X-Files expert.
X file.
Yeah, when that comes back on, we might have to get him. Yeah, he's an X-File.
Yeah.
We might have to get him back on here and talk about the.
Yeah, when that comes
X-Files.
on, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I think that would be
he-
great for us and listeners to hear
Yeah,
just before it comes
he
on.
loved that show.
Oh.
Absolutely loved it. Yeah.
Could tell.
Another TV show that's in development is Friday the 13th.
I'm excited about this.
Now, do you remember there was
original.
a Friday the 13th?
It never had Jason in it.
Yeah, it never had anything to
It
do
was
with
dumb.
the movies.
And it showed the mask in the beginning, which
Yeah.
made you feel like, oh, here we go.
Yeah,
And then,
but it was some kind of, and they actually changed the name. It was, and it was
what?
called Friday's Curse
because it never had,
it never
it
had
competed
anything.
with like Tales from the Dark Side and
Yeah.
what was the other one? Like Outer Limits came back for a little while.
Yeah,
And then
Amazing Stories.
Yeah, Amazing
They
Stories
did,
was
yeah.
early on in the 80s. Well, if they do something, is it going to have Jason in it?
It is going to have Jason in it.
Yeah.
It's gonna, as it said, or as I read, it's going to follow the cast of characters around Crystal Lake.
Oh, like from what era? Because all right, so you have multiple versions
Yeah.
of Jason.
It
I mean,
didn't
you
say.
have resurrected Jason. You have still alive Jason, which was in the first four
I
movies.
think that would
think.
be, yeah. I think that's what it should be. Before you get into him coming back and becoming this undead monster,
Right.
when it's just because I'm sorry, a real human serial killer is way scarier to me
Oh yeah.
than an undead monster.
But I have to say, one of the best kills ever, I think, was in Friday the 13th 5. I think it was the New Blood,
Okay.
where he comes back. He gets the lightning rod through the
Yeah.
through the graveyard. He comes back to life. Right? You remember all that? And then he picks somebody up sleeping in their sleeping bag and swings them into a tree. Like a rag doll.
Oh man,
If you have YouTube,
That
just
is
look
awesome.
up best Friday the 13th kills, and like that is, I think, the
It is
top
awesome.
number one. I mean, there's ones that are over the top, like
Oh, yeah.
a spear from 100 yards away kills 16 people,
Yeah.
whatever. Magic bullet. That is probably the
but just
funniest.
ragdolling somebody under a
I mean,
tree.
it was like whatoom. I mean, right into the bark, and then you just heard like a egg kind of thing.
Oh, man.
But this should be exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope it's got that same sort of fun, over-the-top violence.
Yeah. Kind of like the Ash versus the Evil Dead
Oh,
series that's coming. Have kind of that same.
Bleeding walls and
Yeah. The Flash TV show has released a promo. Has basically is copying us.
Yeah. Right, the
'cause-
Flash of Two Worlds.
Yeah, we just did the Nico of Two Worlds did a variant cover of what we call variant covers.
Yes.
We did a variation of the Flash of Two Worlds with Nico of Two Worlds. They just released it, coincidentally, a week later, they released a
Yeah.
promo image using that same concept with Jay Garrick. So we get to see Jay Garrick for the first time on the TV show. And his, did you notice the bolt on his chest?
Was it correct, or was it the smaller bolt?
No, it's correct, but it's not filled in.
Oh.
It's like the inside of it is red. So it's almost like a variation of Barry's on the TV show where the symbol is red instead of being white.
Oh.
Although now they've changed his in Barry's in the image of Barry in the promo image, it's white now. So they've changed it. But Jay's it's the inside
Should
of the
be
bolt.
yellow, and he's got gloves too.
And he's wearing gloves. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm not mad. I'm not gonna like sue anybody or fire off an angry email. I'm just wanting to point out that a couple weeks ago we did a variation of the Flash of
It's
Two
just
Worlds.
interesting timing.
It's
is
just
all we have to
interesting.
say.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just
interesting.
going to put that out there. You make your own determination of what you want. But it's so fun to see Jay Garrick.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
When that helmet fell last season, I think everybody cheesed.
Everybody I was like, yeah.
And we're going to get Wally West also.
Yep. We're
Which
getting
is gonna
Wally
be
West
great.
this year too. So it's going to be interesting how they do it, because in the comics, Wally is Iris's nephew.
Right. And because Barry went missing,
Yeah.
Wally took up. And how did Wally get his powers?
He was in the lab, if I remember correctly. He was in the lab, and
At Star, or was it
I think it was at Barry's lab.
Okay.
He got, let's see here. He was at the Central City Police Laboratory where Barry worked.
Right.
It repeated, the freak accident repeated. Lightning bolt, chemicals, the whole nine.
But particle accelerators from the show only.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
And it actually, at some point later in the comics, it was found out that Barry was actually that lightning bolt.
Oh,
So
he's
he-
able to make
yeah.
people into the Flash?
Yeah, he went
Because
back.
he was in the Speed Force,
Exactly.
right? Barry got absorbed into the
Yeah,
Speed Force.
so he was that lightning bolt that hit the chemicals that created Wally.
Is that in the Flashpoint Paradox story? Did they
No,
reveal
it was
that there?
before then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
That's exciting.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see in the New 52. They haven't introduced him, but they have introduced a Daniel West,
Daniel West.
I think. And that's another interesting thing.
Well, doesn't Bart
No,
Allen
okay,
become
I'm sorry.
the Flash as well, or get Speedster?
There is a Wally. In the
So Iris has siblings then, in order for Wally to be.
yeah,
her.
that's an interesting.
It's not in the show. It's Barry.
Yeah,
is almost her.
they've never mentioned any siblings.
How
So
they gonna work
where's
that
he
out?
gonna? Yeah, where's he gonna come from?
Well, he is African American, right? The person they cast, so they're going to
Yeah.
keep that sort of sibling.
Maybe it'll be Joe's
familiar.
nephew.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe
right.
he has to come.
My
maybe he
sister,
has
she's
to
from
come.
Coast City or something.
Yeah. Maybe he has to come live with him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole story in the original story was Iris's nephew, and he looked up to Barry, and that's why he was there visiting Barry at the lab when the accident happened, and he ended up becoming his sidekick, Kid Flash.
This makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah.
Because then Barry went missing during the crisis, And then Wally took over.
Yeah, because Wally had actually retired from being Kid Flash. And
He was a Teen Titan.
Yeah, he was in the Teen Titans, and he felt like he didn't really belong. He felt like he had missed so many things. Being this superhero, he had missed his life. So he was like, I don't know. And in his powers,
takes time from a family.
Yeah, his powers were kind of hit and miss. Like every once in a while, they would just go away.
Wow.
And that all that continued to do stuff like that every once in a while, and it was psychological. But he basically said, you know what, I don't know whether I need to be a superhero right now, so I'm just going to kind of walk away from it. And that same issue was when Dick Grayson decided to stop being Robin. Where Wally retired, basically Dick said, Robin is always going to be the backside of Batman and Robin.
Is that famous Titans cover where
they're
both
walking
away?
Yep.
With the denim jackets?
Yep. Yes. With the Lonely Man's playing. Yeah. Yeah, that's that was that issue. They both decided to quit, and I think 3 issues later, Robin became Nightwing.
Oh, nice. Popping collars.
Exactly, a huge popped collar. George Perez loved a popped collar.
Yeah.
But Wally had retired until the events of Crisis on Infinite Earths, because Barry gave from what they knew then, he'd given his life to save the universe. He decided to become the Flash to honor his memory.
Wow.
So he came out of retirement to take up that mantle.
Cool.
So it was a good story. That was,
and that was your Flash, right?
Exactly. That was the Flash that I read from the time, because he in '87 is when he became
full Scarlet Speedster.
Yep. Yeah. Flash Volume 2, Number 1 was June 1987. So yeah, the Flash that I read was Wally West. So
nice.
So I'm interested to see how they include him in the show and how it goes. And Gotham is actually teasing a, quote, different kind of circus. They tweeted out a picture of a circus, which they've shown Haley's circus before.
And what's
that
the
was
significance of that?
That was where the Flying Graysons. Although Dick Grayson wouldn't even be an infant. It's a matter of, in the story where they showed Haley's before, his parents, or what would be his parents, were like teenagers.
And they're probably going to show them getting involved with the mob, right? Because wasn't it the mob who killed?
Yeah, Zuko was Tony Zuko wanted protection money from Haley that ran the circus, and he wouldn't pay, so that's why they killed the Graysons.
Yeah, I bet it's going to come to a head where. But I don't know how they're doing time in Gotham.
I know
really
it's
tough
again, we had this discussion a couple of weeks ago. It's like, okay, it's great what you're doing, but you can't introduce everything because Batman's still 10 years old.
Right.
He's not Batman yet.
And a lot of these characters are older, right?
Yeah.
But they're not. They're going to be 100 years old by the time Batman comes to age.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, but it also could be they've introduced Professor Pig, which is another thing. He was it was a Grant Morrison character, really out there, nutso.
Wow.
He has what he calls the Circus of Strange, but they've introduced Professor Pig in the show already. So it may be that, it may be something to do with the Joker. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
But they did tweet out the picture of that. Tom Hardy is reportedly going to produce and possibly star in 100 Bullets. Is that it's a Vertigo title? Did you ever read 100 Bullets?
I did not. What? And who is Tom Hardy again?
He played Bane.
Oh, okay.
And
oh yeah, yeah. I recognize him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he Mad Max as well?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, he was Mad Max as well. Yeah, I don't know a lot about 100 Bullets. It seems to be kind of noir.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, just by the looks of it. This is a Vertigo title. It looks like one of the chief characters is a dude who wears like a bandages on his face.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
guess
you
that'd
go
be
you go to
Tom Hardy, I
read,
don't know.
I go to look. I'm like, well, it's a story about a man at a bar,
Bandages.
and he looks like a mummy. Yeah.
So I don't know. He's definitely going to produce it. I think that is established. Whether he'll be in it or not,
It's
is gonna
Brian
be-
Azzarello and Eduardo Riso.
Yeah.
100 issues, and it won an Eisner Award and a Harvey
Wow.
Award. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
it came
nothing wrong with
out 99. Yeah, it went
Okay.
from 90. It went for 10 years.
Well, 10 years. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Okay. Well, yeah. That's we'll see if that. Right now, there's a lot of ideas for shows or movies.
Right.
It's whether-
Sandman's in that world too.
It's whether they get off the ground will be interesting. Something that is apparently going to get off the ground is Beetlejuice 2.
Sweet.
Winona Ryder confirmed that that's being worked on and it is going to happen.
All right, we didn't get bamboozled here, right? Like I do with the Goonies every time.
Apparently not. Yeah, this is going to
Sweet.
be this is happening. So
Winona Ryder
yeah, she
drinks
needs
Manischewitz wine.
she needs the gig. So
Oh,
come on.
Oh, Delia, right, or whatever. What was her name?
Delia was
the
her
mom, the stepmom.
What was her name?
Yeah, I can't remember in the movie.
I don't remember. Well, let's see. The dad, he passed away, didn't he?
Yeah, he was. What was his name? He was in like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He
Yeah.
was and then he was in Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he passed away recently, I think. Yeah, Winona Ryder. Let's see. We got some characters.
yeah, it was Delia was the mom, and then the
Winona Ryder.
Otho.
Yeah, Otho.
Love that guy.
Yeah. Well, Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis were Adam and
They were-
Barbara.
yeah.
And then let's see, she's not even listed here. Winona Ryder was Lydia Dietz.
Lydia, that's it. Okay.
Yeah. And then
yeah.
Delia was Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Jones.
Jeff Jones.
Yeah, Jeffrey Jones was Charles
The
Dietz.
Dietzes.
The Dietz. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be interesting.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I like that
it'd
movie
be
a
good
lot.
to see how they play it.
Cool.
And I mean, Michael Keaton's still killing it.
Yeah,
So-
I just saw RoboCop. He was really good in RoboCop.
Oh, yeah.
As that like crooked CEO
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing I wanted out of RoboCop was somebody to say, "I'd buy that for $1."
Well, that
And
one
they did a
guy
variation of
did.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't
and
buy
when-
that for $1.
When I went to see it, actually, Chris Carpenter and I went and saw it on a Monday early afternoon. So literally, it was the two of us in that theater.
Wow.
We were like, we had our feet kicked up on the rail. If we'd have had a remote, that'd be the only thing that would have made it better.
Yeah, right. Pause it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also count them, two Godzilla movies in the works.
Awesome.
Uh,
We can have Mothra and like Mecha
that would
or
be
like
awesome.
Rodan, Ghidra. Damn.
The follow-up to the American one from last year, which wasn't that well accepted,
Nah, you gotta put a guy in a suit.
because I think the consensus was it just took too long to get going. You didn't see Godzilla enough.
Yeah.
But they are planning a follow-up to that. But the Tojo, the Japanese company that owns
The Godzilla
the
franchise.
Godzilla franchise, is making a new one, which
Good.
they hadn't done one since, I think, 2004.
Yeah. 'Cause
So I guess
with Matthew Broderick, wasn't he in it?
no, I'm talking about the Japanese.
Oh, that was still the American
yeah.
version.
Yeah, the Matthew Broderick one was like 98.
Yeah. I remember my favorite band ever at that time, Jamiroquai. I bought the 45 record
Nice.
at the time when that was like not even cool.
Yeah.
Well, Beetlejuice and Godzilla. Come on, Tim.
Yeah.
I'm loving it here. What else we
Nothing
got?
wrong with that.
What else we going to reboot? I'm excited.
Ronda Rousey wants to play Miss Marvel,
Mm.
although she's probably talking about Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
because Captain
The
Marvel's
kid.
been announced,
Right.
but Carol Danvers went by Miss Marvel
For a
years.
long time. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Before she became Captain.
I think that's an outstanding idea because right now there's few women that are more of
Solo
a name and
in the cinematic, right? I mean,
yeah, and Ronda Rousey she's got a lot of buzz around her.
Yeah,
right
what
now.
has she been in as well?
She's been in a few movies, but she's an MMA fighter. That's the
didn't she
baddest
just knock
woman
somebody
on
out
the planet.
Recently, right?
Yes.
Like a
34 seconds.
Oh my lord!
She's only been out of the first round once,
Wow.
and that went to the fourth round before she finished it. She's 12-0. She's and she's ended 9 of those 12 by armbar. One of which, and I've studied martial arts for years, so I've watched loads of fights and I've seen loads of arm bars. This is one of the nastiest ones. She broke the girl's elbow, and it was just nasty.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's and she is a huge nerd.
Oh, awesome.
She loves Pokemon, and she'll sit there and go on and on about the
characters
the Pokemon she had, the games she had on the Game Boy, and how she went through all of them. And she did like a cameo basically at WrestleMania. She just kind of jumped in the ring with The Rock, and she was wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt, I think. So yeah, she's a huge nerd. She loves comic books, and she was actually she wanted to play Wonder Woman, and she was kind of critical of Gal Gadot, saying she's not big enough. She doesn't look like a warrior.
Enough. Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt that she's smoking hot. I mean,
she's a pretty lady.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She looks like Carol Danvers. I mean, she's got
I think
look.
so. Yeah.
I mean, she'll be masked mostly. I mean, right?
Yeah. But I think she could pull it off. She's not a from what I've seen, she's not a great actress, but
yeah.
I mean, she could probably pull it off. And like I said, right now, her name is Golden.
Oh yeah.
And she won Fighter of the Year, the ESPY for Fighter of the Year, not Female Fighter of the Year, just Fighter of the Year.
Awesome.
Which got Floyd Mayweather running his yap.
Seriously? They should fight.
He won't do it because she'd beat the crap out of him. And he said something about he tweeted that when she made $30 million in however many times, how long his fight with Manny Pacquiao went, when she makes $30 million in that amount of time.
Oh, come talk to me.
She responded by saying, read a Dr. Seuss book and then come back to me, because he's not exactly that smart. So yeah, she pretty much nailed him. And awesome. I seriously think she would kill him. She would beat the crap out of him.
I bet. Yeah.
Because like I said, I've studied martial arts for a while, and you don't train boys over here, girls over here. I've fought plenty of women, and there's no shame in getting your butt kicked by a woman. When a woman knows how to fight, good for her.
Yeah, right. It's all physics, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to be super strong.
Yeah. And this one is Robert Kirkman's show Outcast. Well, it's the show based on Robert Kirkman's comic series Outcast. It's actually filming in York, South Carolina.
Wow.
I know. It's right down. A friend of mine.
This is a fairly new comic, right?
I think
it came out last year.
No, it's been out a while, I think.
Really?
I don't know. But a friend of mine.
Dark story, isn't it?
Of course, it's Robert Kirkman.
Right.
That's what he does.
Yeah, 2014. June.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I saw this, I got it in a bundle of Image #1s.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to read Southern Bastards, and this had come with it. I hadn't actually read it because I was like, it looks like Ash from Evil Dead, and I was like,
yeah.
And it says Kirkman, so that's going to be, I won't be able to sleep.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But apparently it's supernatural horror and demonic possession. Just skimming the paragraph, I've caught supernatural horror and demonic possession. So
there you go.
But yeah, they're shooting for.
Where'd you say? South Carolina? Where?
York, South Carolina.
In York, right? It's a sort of an old Main Street kind of town.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
Cotton mills around. And stuff.
Yeah, and it's a Cinemax show, so ittle be another show that I won't be able to watch.
Okay, so there'll be
right along with the Ash
cheesy,
versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, for the love scene.
Not Skinamax.
No,
not that time of night.
Oh, okay.
But the another Vertigo title that is being made into a TV show, Lucifer. They released their pilot. I'm sorry, they didn't release their pilot. It was leaked online. This is becoming like
Damn you, Hydra.
This is becoming a standard.
Why? It's like
Because the Flash pilot leaked.
yeah.
They did leak that one. Somebody went and got it and put it online.
Yeah.
Then Supergirl, the pilot for Supergirl leaked on. Well, because when the Flash pilot leaked online, everybody went gaga over it.
Oh, yeah.
And it had
it
such
looked great. Yeah.
yeah, and it had such good buzz even before it even aired.
Yeah.
That everybody was so ready for it. So I think that's what Supergirl looked at it and was like, hey, they got
Great way to test.
They got some buzz, so let's
go
leak
for
it
it.
online. And then now all of a sudden we got another leak. So I'll have to look for it and see because the one image I've seen is the Corinthian. Is that the guy with the teeth in his eyes?
From Sandman?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. He was that
Yeah.
bad guy who
That's
stole
the image. That's the image I've seen is the dude with the teeth in his eyes.
Yeah, he used to wear the glasses.
That's freaky.
Oh, he's scary. Oh, is it this?
Yep.
Lucifer
Yep.
still? Oh
Yeah.
my lord.
That's the still I've seen. Yeah. So yeah, if you've read the Sandman, it's the same Lucifer character that's in there
The
who
blonde-haired
basically
guy, beautiful.
who
Right.
basically decides to quit being the
devil.
boss of hell. And then he goes to L.A. to run a piano bar,
Awesome.
which sounds right.
I bet the microphone smells like a beer.
It probably does.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I'm looking forward to. I don't know exactly. I don't know where that's supposed to. I think maybe TBS is where
Wow.
that's going to air.
Cool.
I think.
So some of those sort of second level networks are
Yeah.
cable networks starting to pick up.
Yeah.
Series.
And I still haven't heard. They were TNT or TBS One was supposed to be working on a Titans live action show,
Yeah, I heard you.
but I haven't heard anything recently
Since.
about that. So, but we were talking last week about Ghostbusters. It's now been confirmed that Bill Murray will do a cameo in the Ghostbusters, and he'll play a professional debunker.
Oh,
So he'll
awesome.
be like
super douchey and like.
yeah,
just,
exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
he'll be the other.
Oh yeah, come to
side.
think of it, like there's so much of those shows, like International Ghost Hunters and like
Yep.
those guys who have the taps business or whatever. They're like serious. There's a lot of personalities built around that. I bet they're going to do some crazy debunking because
Probably.
who was that guy from the first one who was like the politician?
Walter Peck.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
He's like, I demand from the EPA to
Yes.
know what is in your ghost machine. Right.
What is the magic word?
Yeah.
Love that guy. Yeah. So
That's awesome.
I'm putting him in that spot. I think would be perfect because he can.
He'll
It's
be the
Bill
over
Murray.
the top. Yeah,
it's
like,
Bill Murray. He can do anything. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just going to be really, really cool to see him there.
yeah.
So yeah, it's because we actually talked about it, and I said, I think if he's going to be in it, they'll keep it quiet
yeah.
to where it'll be a surprise. But it's obviously not just going to be a cameo. He's gonna
Play some
because
antagonist of some
he's
sort.
been named. It's like Doctor something.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be a little more than just a cameo. So
Awesome.
yeah, that'll be cool. In season 2 of Agent Carter, they are going to use it's a current day Iron Man villain, Madame Mask, but they're going to, I don't know if they're going to
Make her retro?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like she's thrown back in time. I doubt they'll do that.
Yeah.
But she's going to be she's going to be the big bad for next season in Agent Carter.
Cool.
And it's going to be like they're going for a Hedy Lamarr kind of take on the character, like bombshell actress, but also
Super
an evil,
villain.
super villain at the same time.
Yeah, she's pretty dark.
Yeah.
Are you sure Madame Mask is old school?
No,
Or,
she's
new?
yeah.
'Cause, I mean, look at this classic.
Well, yeah.
panel.
Well,
What you mean?
I don't mean that she's but she wasn't in
relative
the 40s.
old school. Yeah, okay.
She wasn't in the 40s.
Yeah, she wasn't golden age, I
Yeah,
suppose.
exactly, yeah.
Okay, so she's more Silver Age villain.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, she's going to be there, and they wanted to do a female villain to kind of open up some more opportunities for Agent Carter to have a good storyline.
That's a good show. I
Yeah.
got to say, it's a decent show. I mean, I was really excited by the first episode. I thought she was great in the first Cap movie.
Yeah.
And she played an old lady though, like later, right in the
in second Captain
Soldier.
America. Yeah, he went to see her, and she's obviously
old now,
she's
yeah.
aged. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Fox Network is actively pursuing a TV series based on Marvel's X-Men. They got to use that music, man.
Yeah, love that, man.
That'll be interesting to see if that actually works out. That'll be another way they can keep the copyright.
Yeah,
Because
right.
the
Keep it
movies
alive.
aren't necessarily.
They're fizzling.
They're not necessarily going anywhere, but doing a TV show, and they could do New Mutants. They could do.
Oh, that'd be great.
They
To really
could do
play
all
out
kind
some
of
of the
different
sub
things.
stories. Yeah,
Mhm.
like the
Yeah.
Extinction Agenda. I remember last week you asked me like sort of what was my sort of early comic love.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Extinction Agenda story that like made me buy a series and get
Yeah.
into it. Before I collected, and that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't really read, admittedly so. I went for the pictures
Oh yeah.
and the articles. But it was that, and that series is actually back now.
Okay.
They've Marvel's been doing a lot of reboots of previous series.
Yeah.
So Extinction Agenda is on, and then I think like Korvac Saga or something is on again.
Okay.
Which was an Avengers story about
Yeah.
some like super guy, and then of course Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Is happening again.
Yeah, where they're using the Secret Wars and Battle World to do a lot of these old stories.
Oh really?
Like there's a Secret Wars Civil War series,
Really?
and it's awesome.
Really?
It's awesome.
That
You
sounds
should really go and get it.
Baity, but yeah, you think it's good?
It really is very good
Cool.
because it's set
How many issues is it into now?
2 or 3.
Okay.
I think 3 is getting ready to come out.
Cool.
But it's St. Louis was leveled in a conflict, so they basically split the country. President Tony Stark is in charge of the blue. Is what they call it the iron. Sorry.
Yep.
And Cap is a general. Steve Rogers is in charge of the blue. So
Wow.
there's 2 countries, not just superheroes are split. There's 2 countries, and right in the middle is the remains of St. Louis.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's a really good story.
Cool.
Yeah,
Who would have known that the Berlin Wall, the Missouri Wall,
the
St.
Missouri
Louis Wall,
yeah, yeah, and it's like the like ground zero is it's a big chasm, and there's a bridge going over, and that's the only way to get across.
Wow.
So
Is the
yeah.
river still there?
No,
Oh.
no, it's pretty much
up.
wasted everything.
Yeah.
So, let's see, where were we? Okay. The trailer for Quentin Tarantino's Hateful Eight was released. Spoiler alert. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's really bloody, and it's really cool.
Awesome. I haven't seen this yet. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's loaded with stars. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I see.
Snake Plissken. I can't remember his name now.
Kurt
Russell.
Yep, Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Cool. I
And,
can't name the rest of these people.
Yeah, it's a lot of them are like, oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
that guy, yeah.
And
Cool. Was this an Old West?
yes, it's set in the Old West. Kurt Russell is
yeah, look at this entertainment weekly
bounty
cover.
hunter who is bringing her. What is her name? Juliette Lewis. He's bringing her in, and they get stuck in a like an old
Town.
saloon, or it's like just like one building,
Oh.
and 8 people are in there. The thing is, she's the bounty on her is dead or alive, so
Oh, so it
he's
doesn't
afraid
matter.
they're gonna
Kill
kill her
everybody
and
and then-
and take her. But in the trailer, Samuel L. Jackson talks about Kurt Russell's character and says they call him the Hangman because Samuel L. Jackson is obviously a bounty hunter too. He's like, when the bounty says dead or alive, most of us we'll shoot you from a hill half a mile away
Yeah.
and just take you in. If he catches you, you're going to hang. So he takes them back alive so that they can hang, because you get more money if they're alive
Oh.
on the bounty. So,
I mean, this has like a real Wild Bunch feel.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
that old
Yeah.
70s,
Yep.
The Searchers. So
and
it was a little
I
earlier.
mean, that's Quentin Tarantino. That's what he
He
does.
loves that, right?
Yeah.
Django Unchained was
Yeah.
that sort of
That's what he
foray into that. Yeah,
Like I said, here's a shock. It's really cool looking and very violent.
awesome.
It's-
Well, maybe westerns will make a comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, Hell on Wheels is decent.
yeah.
Yep.
And we talked was it last week or a week before we talked about the Xena reboot that Lucy Lawless was saying it's not going to happen.
I think it was the week before.
She's
Yeah.
a liar.
What? It's
It
happening?
is happening. The reboot is in works with NBC. And the reason I say she's a liar is because the executive producers for the show, Sam Raimi, and her husband are the ones in talk with NBC.
Oh my God.
She's married to so she knew good and well it was
Oh,
in
I'm
works.
sure. Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
lied.
Keeping it.
She's
at
a
bay.
liar.
Oh man. Well, maybe she wants her
Well,
her time on what's it called?
Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah, to really. Well, 'cause Sam Raimi's on that too.
Exactly. Yeah.
To be right, and she
Yeah.
gets love for that, and the casino would overshadow that. Unfortunately,
yeah,
she's
yeah.
so typecasted for that stuff.
Yeah, and they're gonna. They said that they'd like for her to be involved, but they're not quite. She's not gonna play Xena. They're not quite sure.
She should
What?
play like Xena's mom, like
Yeah, or something like that.
Hera, or
I don't
whatever.
know if
I
she
don't know
wants to
whoever's
do that though. That's I mean that's kind of admitting you're old.
a little bit. Yeah,
But yeah, it is what it is.
yeah.
She's still cool though. So, but
Absolutely.
yeah. The fact, I mean, when I read that story, I was like, okay, her husband is one of the guys who's in talks with this, so she knows good and well
What's happening?
what's happening. Yeah.
Totally.
So
So of course she's gonna come out and be like, no,
She's a
I
liar.
don't know. Oh, I was wrong.
Liar.
Sorry. Yep.
But the big one, another big, actually, this falls in the rumor category.
Mhm.
So you have to take this all with a grain of salt. But apparently, after watching an early cut of Batman versus Superman, Warner Brothers executives gave it a standing ovation,
Really?
and much of that applause was for Ben Affleck and his portrayal of Batman.
Wow.
They're now trying to get him on board for 3 standalone Batman films.
Wow.
I'm
Look,
looking
he has
for,
to crush it. He
Yes.
has to be the best ever.
and
Batman.
I think he will. And that was what they were saying, that he is the definitive Batman. You also have to remember this is coming from Warner Brother executives.
Of course.
Whoever
Yeah, right.
they have
And they
signed
love.
right now
They're gonna
is
love.
going to be.
washed in glowing
Exactly.
ambrosia. Yeah.
Um,
I did watch Batman and Robin this weekend, by the way. Yep. So we can't go anywhere but north from there.
that's
So
true. That's true.
That was a
It was
Stephen
horrible.
Pile. That was
Yeah,
a,
it was a
that was
Stephen Pile.
Fantastic Four level.
Yeah, it was.
And all the damn neon, glow in the dark,
God.
black light. Like really?
Okay, you're upsetting me. Stop.
And then the ice armor,
Oh my
the ice bat armor. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's awesome. Look, we dug a 6-foot hole for Batman versus Superman, ready to toss it in.
Yeah.
And it is not.
It's
Keeps crawling out. I mean, it's like it's
and
doing great.
well, I never was worried. As far as I'm concerned, I never was worried about Ben Affleck playing Batman.
Nah.
I like Ben Affleck. I like his, I know there's a lot of people that don't like him as an actor. I'm a fan of his and always have been. And I think, especially after the trailer, getting a look at him
The Con trailer.
getting a look at him as both Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Running into the falling tower,
Yeah.
Wayne Tower.
I think it's going to look great. My thing is, okay, he's now signed for 3 standalone Batman films.
Oh yeah.
This
Including this one, or no, 3 standalone.
3
so it'd be
standalone
separate
Batman
movies.
So the problem is, admittedly, although I love Ben Affleck,
He's going to be old Batman and
yeah,
all
exactly, he's a little
Unless they
long
go
in the
back.
tooth. But if they do, I mean, he's still
of them? An old guy.
45, 46.
I mean, dude, I'm watching Wet Hot American Summer on Netflix.
I need to watch that.
It's hilarious. But like all the cast is very much aged. And
Yeah.
they do a decent job of getting them to look younger again.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? Michael Douglas in Ant-Man. You know,
Yeah,
I was like, whoa! I mean, he looked like Gordon Gekko, right?
Yeah.
Like almost, a duplicate. Not really, but
Yeah.
Well, that'd be cool. I really, there's so many Batman stories that they haven't tackled yet. I wonder.
Oh yeah,
what
there's
they could
plenty.
Do.
He's 42.
He's 42.
He's
Okay.
not quite as old
Yeah,
as
he's
I
not
am.
that old. Yeah. I mean, if they did the backbreaking right with Bane, have they ever covered that in any of the movies?
Yeah, they did that in Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen those yet, so.
Okay, you haven't seen any of the.
I saw Batman Begins.
Batman Begins.
Is that in that series?
Yes.
Okay, that's the only one I've seen.
Have you seen The Dark Knight?
I have not. Tim, you giving me that look?
Oh my lord, The Dark Knight is.
I got so freaked out when that shooting happened that I was like,
Yeah, I can. Okay, I understand.
I wasn't quite into as I am now.
The Dark Knight is probably the best comic book movie I've ever seen.
And that's with the
that's
Heath
with
Ledger.
Joker. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, there's plot issues.
Sure.
But with his portrayal and the way the feel that movie gave, I'm going to bring it and let you borrow it and let you watch it because it's
all right.
it's.
Well, Chuck Charles loaded me up with some stuff.
He does that all the time.
Yeah,
He'll bring
me
you
some
like
animated.
a big stack.
He gave me like a bag. I was like, are you like a guy in the city who has DVDs? Like,
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to have let you down.
No, that's fine. I understand.
To...
Yeah, I understand that. Like you said, after the shooting, it was kind of.
This is spooky.
Yeah.
This is spooky. I didn't want to see that and think about all that every time
Yeah.
somebody got punched in the face or something. Or,
Yeah, but
or
it's.
shot.
I mean,
Yeah.
with Heath Ledger's performance, it was
Amazing.
really. I think it was one of the best comic book movies ever.
Awesome.
So, but yeah, they. So I'll be interested if this is true, and they're trying to sign him. Will they transition to like a new Batman or a Nightwing kind of deal?
That'd be awesome. I mean, if they did like the Damian Wayne Batman versus Robin, or Robin son of Batman, or whatever it is.
Well, in the trailer, Robin has died. So it's going to be interesting. Are we going to get
Jason Todd?
Yeah, is Jason Todd the one that died? Is Dick Grayson out there being Nightwing somewhere?
Right.
Is Tim Drake going to come along, or is Carrie Kelly the Robin from Dark Knight Returns? So it's going to be interesting how it does, and if somebody else comes along to be Robin, will these three standalone Batman movies pass the baton to somebody else?
Wow. Well, let's hope it's not Chris O'Donnell.
Oh God! Holy rusted metal, Batman. But yeah, so that's a look at our movie and TV news, and like I said, that one is rumor status, so keep that with a grain of salt on the last one.
Check back in on that one.
Exactly, yeah. But we're going to take a break, and when coming back, we're going to take a spin of the comic rack.
Our hailing frequencies are always open. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search Ninja Troll Digicast, or drop us an email at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
I'm Cully Hamner, artist of The Question in Red, and you're listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, now we're back on the Ninja Troll Digicast, and now it's time to take a spin of the comic rack.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's time for the comic rack. Hey, nice rack.
Knock it off, perv.
No, it's the latest news from the enormous world of comics, right here on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, this week in the comic rack, first off, Marvel will release Secret Wars 2, that's TOO, for a comedic relief after the multiverse destroying heaviness of Battleworld. the cover, this is really funny. The cover of it shows like a yearbook page from like a high school yearbook, and
Awesome.
you've got Doom with the like Doctor Doom with the mask, and then like a curly, almost mullet around it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really really nice.
With the lasers. With the lasers background. I had lasers. Oh, it's great.
And you've got, I think next to him is
Yeah.
Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still bald.
yeah, still bald. Yeah,
And She-Hulk.
and She-Hulk.
Still
Yeah,
bald.
and Doom with the big popped collar and the open shirt. It's awesome. It's awesome
man.
with the perm, the too much perm. Yeah, so this is going to be kind of a, like I said, kind of a comic relief from the Secret Wars, which has been pretty serious, and except for Deadpool's Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Secret Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been funny.
Invincible Iron Man. We talked about that
Mm-hmm.
last week or the week before, passing 200,000
Oh.
pre-orders.
Yeah.
It's now past 300,000.
Ooh.
It's going to be huge. That's going to be, and it's not even close to being out yet.
Yeah.
So it could hit past 4.
When are they
400,000.
saying it's going to come out?
I think that's it's going to be after Secret Wars.
Secret Wars may go to the end of the year.
Yeah,
They're saying.
so. It's got a while.
Yeah.
So
It's
it
only
could-
number 5 came out, and it's 5 of 8.
5
Just
of 8,
2 more
yeah.
issues left. I think they're taking 2 months apiece on these.
Wow, that's interesting.
They're
Why
thick. They're not.
I mean, they're thick,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
but
not
it's
small
but it's
books.
I mean, everything else is basically being put on pause.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's a long time to have your regular books be put off.
True. Yeah.
It's kind of
absolutely.
weird. So, but yeah, so it's still got a lot of time, and it's already going to be one of the biggest comic debuts of 2015.
Damn.
But if they're saying 2015, then obviously
It's got to come out.
it's got to
at the
come
end
out
of the
this year. So
Yeah.
before the end of the year. At
Maybe
least,
we'll
so.
see Thanksgiving, November time.
Probably. They're also working on a new series, Deadpool and Cable, split second. That will debut in October. It's essentially, that's 90s comics distilled down into 2 characters,
Amen.
Deadpool and Cable.
And Cable.
Just killing people with swords and guns. That's the 90s.
That's right.
And
That's
they're
right.
always screaming.
Yeah. Right.
So I mean, at the very least, it'll be a lot of fun. And
Totally.
there's actually talk of Cable being in the Deadpool sequel too,
Oh.
the movie.
He'll have to travel through time,
Yeah,
right? Or
yeah. Well, they don't have to. They don't have to really. I mean, it's Deadpool. They can just go, yeah, he's here, and he'll look at the camera and go, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, it's-
No continuity. It's good.
Exactly, it's Deadpool. So, and speaking of the Merc with the Mouth, will also take on another huge fan favorite, Thanos.
Awesome.
In September, this series will debut Deadpool versus Thanos. Not everybody knows they actually share an ex,
Who is this?
Death.
Death?
They were
Like
both
the lady in the purple robe?
Yep.
and-
they were both with Death, and that's actually the crux of the matter in the series.
Oh my God.
She goes missing, and everyone in the Marvel universe stops dying. So they have to figure out what happened to her, where she's at. But the cover is the best thing.
Yeah.
The cover has Deadpool running from Thanos, saying, "It was a joke, Marvel. I was joking when I said I wanted to fight Thanos."
That should be good.
That should be really, really
Yeah.
good. There was a Hulk versus Thanos series was last year.
How'd that turn out?
It was a slobber knocker. It was use the words of good old JR Jim Ross. Yeah, it was a bit of a barn burner fight.
Wow. Yeah, I see. I'm looking here. It looks like they tore each other up.
Pretty much, yeah.
But they got some bad blood from the Gauntlet series.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it seems like Hulk will fight with anybody,
Yeah.
especially another big bad guy.
Who can take it?
Yeah. So, But yeah, the Deadpool versus Thanos series should be a lot of fun. In other Marvel Comics news, Journey to Star Wars: The Force Awakens Shattered Empires. That's it's a mouthful. So it's Journey to Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and then the actual comic title is Shattered Empire. Number 1 will debut on September 2nd, so a couple weeks now. And that's going to be the bridge between the end of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Awesome.
So that's going to show what happened in the
interim. Hold up Imperial forces, bases, right? Coruscant, right, is the main
the capital
city planet. So that is under Imperial control. They're going to have to take
exactly.
that.
And that's the thing. Okay, the Emperor's dead, and that's great.
Yeah.
But
the Grand Moths, right? They don't know.
Exactly.
They don't know nothing from nothing.
Yeah, there's going to be they're not going to just go, oh, okay, we're done and go home.
Let's be rebels.
Yeah, there's going to be a power vacuum in there. So the Emperor and Darth Vader are both gone. So there's going to be,
and Tarkin, right, is gone too.
Yeah, well, he was gone in
4.
A New Hope. So yeah, there's going to be a huge power vacuum at the top. Somebody's going to try to step in and keep things as the status quo.
You may fire when ready. Well, that's cool because it's like I was wondering how they're going to bridge this.
Yeah.
So
that and it will be canon.
Sweet.
The things that happen in there will directly go into the movie. So, but with the Star Wars comics that are coming out, Marvel Comics and War dominated the sales charts in July. Between Star Wars and Secret Wars, 8 of the top 10 titles in July were from Marvel Comics.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crushing.
Secret Wars, and it's kind of that way every month.
Well, it wasn't as. I mean, Convergence was not great.
Yeah.
So it was.
And it was that way before. That's kind of a steady thing.
Marvel dominates the crossovers.
Yeah. And they're usually every month there's one lone DC in the top 10, and it's Batman.
Yeah. It's the go-to.
Yeah, it's kind of the standard thing.
Yeah.
Secret Wars number 4 was the top seller for the month of July.
Nice.
Batman number 42 and the new Archie number 1.
Oh, you couldn't get that.
Yeah. Those were the only 2 others in the top 10 that weren't.
I tried to get Archie vs. Predator to try and read that, and they have every issue but number 1. That is like the most. It's coveted.
Yeah.
Couldn't even order it. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, all right
then.
Comixology it is then.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, if you want to read it, right? I mean, you gotta.
Yeah. And this I just saw today. This is DC Comics making a huge push for the Dark Knight Returns 3, the Master Race is the title, or the secondary title of it.
Yeah.
Any comic book store that buys 5,000 copies of Dark Knight Returns 3 will get an original Jim Lee sketch variant cover. The problem there is, other than like Mile High Comics or Midtown Comics,
yeah, right. Who's going to have the?
Who's going to be able to buy 5,000 copies?
I mean, would Heroes do that? Probably not, right?
Maybe.
That's a big stretch. It's going to be a giant book.
Yeah, even Mile High Comics and Midtown, that's still kind of a stretch. Buying 5,000 copies,
dang,
that's a load.
Yeah, that's a huge load.
That's a load. I mean, will it be worth it to get this Jim Lee sketch variant?
I doubt it.
I mean, I don't know. It's
just for original. I mean, you got to love Jim Lee. I mean, it's original art from Jim Lee. I mean, I follow him on Instagram, and he does great stuff all the time.
Oh yeah,
so it's pretty easy
gorgeous
to get
stuff.
his work.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're trying. Well, it's weird because Jim Lee is the co-publisher of DC as well. It's Dan Didio and Jim Lee, and that may be Didio. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I like saying Didio. So it's weird because you have co-publishers.
Yeah.
You got Jim Lee and Dan Didio, and Jim Lee still works on books and stuff. It's weird. It's like, I mean, I don't know if it's like a figurehead kind of thing, that Jim Lee's a well-known, well-respected artist,
Well, he was he a partner of Image?
Yeah.
Right, back in the day.
Yeah,
So
he was one of the guys that left to go to Image.
He was Marvel. Well, he did both, I think, back in the day. He did Batman and like Hush, for example, was like a.
Yeah, well, that was after.
Was that after?
That was after Image.
Image.
Yeah.
So I wonder, is this just he's got enough money? Tom McFarlane him, and Liefeld, I feel like could do anything they wanted.
Yeah, yeah, and it's weird that it's not that he isn't talented or shouldn't be in the spot.
Yeah.
But it's weird that he's the co-publisher and one of the biggest titles that's coming out in years he's working on.
Well, look, it's like I'm a huge advocate of designer-run businesses.
Yeah.
Right. Like designers and artists will take risks. They will do things that are generally not always profitable, but benefit the company.
Yeah.
In ways that are intangible and you can't put on a dang chart.
Yeah.
So like I look on that hand, I applaud Jim Lee for being in that position.
Yeah.
But you're always worried about corruption.
Yeah.
That, like something like he may hog something and
exactly.
it's to the detriment. But let's hope he's wise enough to realize that when it's time to jump and give Batman to somebody else, and those sorts of things, you let it happen.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's doing like a regular book.
He does covers all the time.
Yeah.
I always see as like, just cover by Jim Lee or something like that.
Yeah.
Or,
So yeah, I mean, but he is obviously working on this, and it's going to be, this. I was looking at the credits for Dark Knight Returns 3. The Master Race. And
does it take place in the 40s? Like, what's with that Master Race subtitle?
I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but okay, it's Frank Miller and Brian Azzarello will write.
Cool.
Andy Kubert and Klaus Janson will illustrate. So I'll assume Andy Kubert will pencil and Klaus will be an inker.
Yeah.
Which he inked the original.
Yeah.
But that was written and illustrated by Frank Miller.
Yeah.
So
Frank Miller did pencils, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Klaus Janson inked it. So I mean, the fact that he had it kind of goes back to me looking at it and going, okay, is his health an issue?
Frank Miller. Yeah. Well, he got an Eisner Award, and we were like, whoa.
He looked really frail.
Yeah, you had said.
That
and we were also a little bit like, well, that's a little early for him to get an Eisner Award,
So, and he had a cane when they were showing Jim Lee presenting him that Eisner Award.
But it's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's
right?
it.
The Eisner Award is an annual
Yeah.
thing. This is like
is him
a huge, like legendary honor.
Being inducted to the Hall of Fame.
And to be so young, right? Like, I mean, he's done great things.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Like, he hasn't had the length of time that some of the guys we were looking at, you know, who were Golden Age, Silver Age guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so looking at it, there's going to be a variant cover by Klaus Janson. There's going to be a variant by Andy Kubert and Klaus Janson. There's going to be another one by TBA. There's going to be a variant, a Frank Miller variant.
Wow.
You're going to have to beat people off with a stick.
Oh, people are going to fight for that one. Yeah.
That's going to be nuts.
I mean, I'd be stoked for the Jansen one and the Jansen-Hubert one, but like...
Yeah, the Frank Miller one's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Then there's going to be one of 500. See, I'm not sure exactly of the... it's got 1:10 variant cover by Klaus Janson.
1:10, so 1 out of 10.
That may be. That's probably if you order this many copies, you can get this variant. Because this is
That's
probably
some 90s junk right there.
Yeah, this is the solicitation to the retailers. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. This is the solicitation to the real
to buy in bulk.
to the direct market. So 1:10.
I don't like that
variant cover by Klaus Janson. 1:25 variant cover by Andy Kubert and Klaus Janson. 50 variant cover by TBA. 100 variant cover by Frank Miller. 500 variant cover by Jim Lee, and then 5,000 is the original sketch variant by Jim Lee. And, of course, they'll do the blank variant cover, which I never until I went to Free Comic Book Day this year. I didn't get the blank variant. I was why would I buy a blank cover? That's stupid. And then I realized, I see guys at Free Comic Book Day doing a sketch on there. I was like, so I've got a custom cover now. Oh, okay, now I get it.
That's why, yeah, right.
Now I understand.
I even know artists who don't even work on books who buy blanks to then do those characters on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great way to sell. You know, you can get $25 to $30 for one.
Yeah.
You know, easy. For drawing, you know.
Yep. So so that's what that is. That's the stores that buy that number of books will get these different. So like everything up to the 500 are realistic. I mean, for like heroes, 100, 500, yeah, I can see those being ordered. But the 5,000, only the biggest stores, and that's going to make people go to the bigger stores and try to put in an order, but still 5,000. That's,
I don't know though.
That's
it
a
doesn't.
lot.
So on the order of things, when it comes to Dark Knight Returns, to me, Frank Miller should be the most expensive.
I would think so.
Why is there two Jim Lees level above him?
He's the co-publisher.
He's the co-publisher? I don't get it though. Like, what does he have to? Did he draw Dark Knight Returns 2?
Nope. I don't think so.
Why? I mean, he drew Batman for a long time.
Yes,
he drew him great.
He did. He did a phenomenal job. Yeah.
I just don't get that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why this it kind of bugs me a little bit. It's like is he putting himself in spots that, like you said, okay, if Frank Miller does the variant code, if there's going to be a well sought after,
that's the one I want.
Yeah, if there's going to be a well sought after variant cover, it should be
the creator.
Yeah.
Right. The guy who wrote and drew it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like he mopped the floor, you know? I mean, it's not like he
Exactly,
took one
yeah.
small part of it. I mean, he did the whole thing.
Frank Miller did the second one, The Strikes Back. Dark Knight Strikes Back. Or Strikes Again, sorry. Yeah, so it's not like Jim Lee had, I mean...
anything to do with it.
Yeah, I hate to say it that way, but yeah, it's, I mean...
when's it slated to come out?
Let's see here.
Number 3.
It is slated to come out November 25th.
I bet that's when we're going to see all those new titles.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably that makes sense. And there's also there's a mini comic that's going to be inserted as well. 16-page mini comic with no interior ads that will measure 5.5 by 8.375. Sure, it's a little smaller. Oh, the size has gone down. Size used to be 7 inch by 10 inch was the standard comic book size. Now it's 6.625 by 10.1875. That's some serious nerd stuff. Sorry, folks. That's some serious nerd stuff.
What? Yeah. That throws off the ratio.
It's by doing these variant covers that we've been working on.
Yeah, you're in it.
Yeah, I
get it.
I know what
you're
size it is.
These are not Silver Age specifications.
That's right. But that's the spin of the comic rack. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to throw a character spotlight on Vandal Savage.
Just now, another kid dropped out of school. There's one every 20 seconds. Over 200 kids an hour. That adds up to nearly 5,000 kids every school day.
If we do nothing, 3.5 million kids won't receive a diploma over the next 4 years. But there is someone who can change that. And that someone is you. United Way knows that kids who have a caring adult in their life are more likely to make it. So make a pledge. Tutor a child who needs help. Mentor a kid who needs someone on their side. Volunteer to read to children. Because the path to success or failure starts long before graduation day. And the difference between a graduate and a dropout could be you. Take the pledge to volunteer now at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Like you angry? Dr. Banner, we need you angry. That'll do. The Ninja Troll Digicast. The only podcast with a kick.
All right, back on the Ninja Troll Digicast. We're going to take a look at and throw a character spotlight on Vandal Savage. He's going to be the new big bad for the first season of Legends of Tomorrow, and he's going to make his debut and what will be considered his live-action debut on Arrow and Flash this season on their crossovers. There was a version of him that appeared in Smallville, but they didn't call him Vandal Savage. They called him Curtis Knight, I think, and Dean Cain played him.
Really?
So, but yeah, they didn't call him Vandal Savage, although it's kind of accepted that was the character because he was an immortal. But the character was basically, it was a caveman. Back in prehistoric times, there was a caveman named Vandar Ang. I don't know. It's ADG. I don't know how to pronounce that. So, I don't know.
All right. I think that's good.
I like to say Vandal
Cro-Magnon.
But yeah, he was...
Your accent's a little off.
Yeah. He was the leader of the Blood Tribe, which was a Cro-Magnon tribe. He stumbled across a mysterious meteorite, and when he was exposed to its radiation, it gave him... it caused changes in him, giving immortality, increased strength, stamina, speed, and a genius-level intellect.
Awesome.
So then at that point, he, like you said, he's immortal. So he is as old as the human race, essentially.
Wow.
He's claimed to be numerous famous and vicious leaders through the years: Julius Caesar, Hitler, Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, or to be like close with those people, like at different times, in different stories, he's been the puppet master behind the scenes, like pushing them into doing what they did. Or in some stories, he's been the one.
Wow.
So he was created, or he first appeared in Green Lantern number 10 in December 1943.
Oh, wow.
So
he's Golden Age.
Yeah, it's a very old Golden Age character.
This is Alan Scott, Green Lantern.
Exactly, yeah. That was his first nemesis, Green Lantern specifically, but more in general, the Justice Society. He was one of their villains. He was created by Alfred Bester and Martin Nodell. This was where I was telling you before the show started that I kind of had my mind blown when I was looking up info on him. Alfred Bester, the writer who created him, is one of my favorite science fiction writers.
Oh.
Who I never realized
did comics
at all.
Cool.
He was Alfred Bester wrote The Demolished Man and The Star's My Destination. Two of my favorite science fiction books.
Cool, I haven't read those.
I never realized that he was a comics writer.
Awesome.
So it was like I looking to see who his creator was, and Alfred Bester, is that the same one? And I looked, and yep, sure enough, it was.
And was that the only comic character he wrote, or
no? He worked on a lot of stuff. Yeah,
cool.
He worked on the Justice Society. I don't know if he. No, there was one other. Solomon Grundy, I think, was the other that he created.
Yes,
exactly. So it was really fun to see.
The other part of his bibliography.
Exactly. Yeah, it kind of filled in. Let's see here.
Well, I guess back then you probably had to do that.
Yeah, because
write for TV as well as the movies, I guess.
Yeah, and he did a lot of work for like short story stuff for Astounding Science Fiction and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
But he
so
worked
another science fiction mag. Pulp
yeah,
mag.
he worked on Superman, Green Lantern, and other titles. I actually did read this. He was credited with writing the version of the Green Lantern Oath that begins in Brightest Day and Darkest Night, but that he said himself that was already in place when he started writing. So it wasn't him. But he worked on The Phantom and Mandrake the Magician, which is another Golden Age. He worked on the Shadow.
Wow.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater.
Cool.
So yeah,
those old pulp stories that were done with Foley and voice actors.
Yeah, but he did a lot of work. He then in the 50s he got into
drinking.
No, well, he's a writer. He's always drinking. No, he got into full-length science fiction novels, and that's when he did the majority of the work that I know.
Well, that's when it all blew up, right? I mean,
exactly.
The 50s was the science fiction era, really. Right?
Yeah.
Horror and science fiction.
So yeah, he created Vandal Savage and Solomon Grundy. So that right there, even if I hadn't loved him before, I do.
Man, invite him to dinner.
Yeah, he was introduced as a Vandal Savage. That is not Alfred Bester. Was introduced as a villain for the Justice Society of America, and specifically, like we were saying, for Green Lantern, the first Green Lantern, Alan Scott. Into the Silver Age, he stuck around. Also, when they reintroduced Justice Society, they kind of brought him back. And then in the Silver Age, they introduced his arch enemy, the Immortal Man, which makes sense. He had very similar powers and origin. I think he was exposed to the same meteorite. So he got the same similar powers, although he could die, but he would then resurrect into another form.
Vandal Savage can.
No, Immortal Man.
Oh, Immortal Man. Okay.
Yeah. Vandal Savage doesn't die.
He just
Yeah, he doesn't
immortal. Age either?
No. So yeah, he pretty much looks exactly the same.
Suave Cro-Mag.
He is, yeah. But yeah, Immortal Man dies, but each time he resurrects himself.
Gotcha.
Of course, because he was with the Justice Society, he's a native of Earth 2, but he has knowledge of the other Earths. He, an ancient sorcerer at some point, showed him the future, showed him the JSA, that not only that the JSA would exist, but the existence of Earth 1 and the Justice League.
Oh, wow.
So he has knowledge of the other of the multiverse.
Cool.
He was a founding member of the Injustice Society, which
Nice.
is a cool name.
Yes.
And also a group of villains called Tartarus.
Tartarus?
Yes, tartar sauce.
Okay.
During the Crisis on Infinite Earths, Immortal Man erased himself from existence to save one of the worlds. And the Resurrection Man basically took over as Savage's nemesis.
And then Repo Man took his car.
Resurrection Man has similar powers, but they're from nanobots rather than
from the meteorite
radiation. So, he, of course, he's been alive forever, and he's wanted to take over the world the entire time. So he's bumped heads with pretty much everybody in the DC universe, but most notably the Justice Society, Justice League. Specifically, he recurs with Alan Scott, Jay Garrick, and he had some stories with Wally West Flash.
Oh, wow.
As well.
So you think it's the Jay Garrick introduction that will allow the Vandal Savage to maybe make the entrance?
That's probably what's going to happen in Flaro, is because he's coming from Jay Garrick's coming from Earth 2. If Vandal comes from Earth 2, same kind of thing there. That's probably how they're going to introduce it.
I'm so excited to see how they explore that.
Yeah. And we talked about Hawkman. He has a connection because he was with Justice Society.
Right.
And he is also resurrected over thousands of years.
So he's not as old as
Vandal Savage. And Vandal Savage refers to him as the cockroach. So yeah, I guess he looks down. I mean, he looks down on everybody, but he specifically looks down on Hawkman
because he's almost like him.
Yeah, and calls him the cockroach.
Couple 100,000 years shy.
Exactly. At one point, and this was a Wally West Flash story. Savage tried to destroy the Earth by using a device to pull an asteroid to make it crash into the Earth, but was actually thrown into space when the Flash reversed the polarity of the device. It basically shot him out into space. So he was gone for a while, but of course he can't die, so he's back. At different points, and this was where it gets. I guess this was probably in the 90s when things got a little
wonky.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
At different points, he had to consume members of his own bloodline.
What?
To continue his immortality.
So kind of Lazarus Pit.
Kind of
thing.
He does have a daughter that he's been alive for many 52,000 years, I think at one point they said. So I'm sure he's had plenty of kids, but one he actually raised to adulthood. What was her name? Now I've forgotten. It was a weird name. It was a daughter.
This is. He doesn't eat her, does he?
No.
Okay. All right. Good. That's what you mean by consume. Is that like he's got?
Yes. Yeah. Wow. And actually, at one point, Lex Luthor referred to him as the first cannibal.
Yeah, right. He would be.
Yeah, and at different points, Scandal Savage is his daughter.
Scandal
Savage, which is
wow.
That's I knew it was something weird, so I had to look it up to make sure.
Vandella Savage.
Vandella, yeah. Yeah, Lex has referred to him as the first cannibal. He has stated, or he believes himself to be Cain, the first murderer.
Wow.
He actually, in the comics, he briefly wore the mark of Cain because in the storyline, I think it was Final Crisis, a group of followers of Cain were able to find the Spear of Destiny, which is
what they used to kill Jesus,
to
right?
kill Jesus. Yeah. So they were able to find that, and they stabbed Vandal Savage with that, causing Cain to be reborn in him. So he had the mark, and
that's cool.
He fought the Spectre, and actually split the Spectre from his human host. And the Question had to get the Spectre back into his human host.
Wow!
But God has commanded he can't kill Cain. So he has to mark him, and so he then bears the mark of Cain.
Oh man! Wow, that's interesting.
And you can get rid of that by it can be suppressed by willpower and the acknowledgement of one's own shortcomings. But that's not exactly in his.
Do that.
Yeah, that's not exactly in his personality. So all he did was try to get rid of it. He actually did end up passing it on to Renee Montoya, who was the Question.
Yeah.
So she took it.
That was in 52.
Yes.
Yeah.
She took it and then realized all you got to do to get rid of it is
denounce.
Admit
wow, that makes sense.
Admit that you're fallible.
Man. This was a huge part of 52 that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
She kept going to Nandar
Parbat.
Yeah, the foreign country sort of in the mountains and always doing this mystic stuff. And I was always wondering, what is this all about? But then the original Question dies of cancer.
Yeah.
And then she takes over.
Yeah.
Does the face. And
the face, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Oh, man, that's cool. Wow. Well, that filled in a blank for me.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So after the New 52, it looked like he kind of became a little more boring. They kind of took away some of his, and they had a series that was set in the Middle Ages called Demon Knights. It was based on Arthurian lore. And he was just a supporting character. So it's like, I don't know, it's like they kind of, they kind of knocked him down a couple of notches. He's not nearly as strong now, because now with the New 52, they condensed everything into one universe. So you've only got so many places for bad villains.
Yeah, to go.
For big bad villains.
Right, or something to happen and nobody notices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think they kind of had to pare everything down. Mm-hmm. But he obviously he's being pushed a little more now.
Well, what a great time villain, right? To make the jump to Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, because like
He's been
they'll
around
fight
forever.
him in every age,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, any crossover stories of Rip Hunter? I mean, like what?
There was one
80s and 90s.
What they said, they called his actual death. It happens from the 82nd century. He's still alive then.
Whoa.
He finds a way to send himself back in time. He basically sends himself back right before a nuclear bomb goes off. So he's basically at this point he's like, listen, I'm done. I'm out of here. I've got to go. And so he finds a way to send himself back to, because that's the recurring theme for him, is relieving his boredom.
Oh, that makes sense.
He's been alive
He's
forever.
done it all. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So he wants to relieve his boredom.
Wow.
And so that's how he eventually kills himself, but it's not until like the 82nd century. So that's
it's beyond the Legion of Superheroes.
Exactly.
Beyond
That's
Booster Gold.
Yeah,
right?
that's
I mean,
way farther than we've ever even touched.
Yeah.
So, but he's been in a lot of different, and like I said, this being on Arrow is going to be his first live action premiere.
Cool.
But he's been on DC animated features, the Justice League animated series, Justice League Doom, the movie, Young Justice, Batman Brave and the Bold, and then the version of him appeared in Smallville. He was called Dr. Curtis Knox and was portrayed by Dean Cain.
Ironic.
Yeah. So, but Casper Crump is the guy who's going to be playing him in the Flaro universe.
Cool.
So, and the
and
guy
that'll
looks
be a mid-season
introduction. He'll show up in the mid-season crossover between Flash and Arrow, and then I'm not sure exactly when Legends of Tomorrow premieres.
Yeah.
It may be about the same
it.
time.
Oh man,
that would be cool if it premiered about the same time as.
Is it this fall we're going to see Legends of Tomorrow?
I don't think it's going to be this fall. Maybe it's going to be a mid-season thing. I don't know.
That's exciting.
But it's going to lead directly in the crossover. Is going to lead directly into
that show.
Into that show.
Because Arrow kicked off Flash, right? They didn't end
Yes.
at the same time, right? They were sort of like Flash was running a little bit later.
No, they did. They ran at the same time.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we. Oh. So was the first appearance of Grant Gustin on Arrow?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was not powered.
No, right. He was just a Central City dude, right, investigating something.
Yep.
But then, because Arrow was already 4 or 5 episodes in already.
Yes.
All right, and then Flash started.
Yeah, it actually.
He
he appeared in Arrow, and then it actually the Flash started the next season, basically.
Okay.
So he appeared in an episode of Arrow. Then he went back to.
He went into a coma, and I remember Felicity kept checking in on him.
He was in a coma for a long time. Then
Yeah.
when the new season started,
There it
Flash
was.
started.
Bam. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense now. Okay.
Yeah, and all I'm seeing on Legends of Tomorrow is 2016. I don't think we have an actual date.
I think it'll be fall because they wouldn't start a new show in the spring, would they?
They might. I mean, they did.
Yeah.
They did that with Agent Carter.
Oh, that's right.
She was in the her series was in the hiatus for Agents of Shield.
Yeah, right. Because I remember Winter Soldier had come out, and then right afterwards, right, Peggy was.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peggy.
So,
like we know each
Peggy.
other. Yeah, we go way back.
Yeah.
to the typing room.
So yeah, so they'll introduce him in the crossover, and that should lead directly into Legends of Tomorrow.
That's cool.
So,
and I really, I guess of all the looks of Vandal Savage, which one do you think would be the most appropriate for the show?
I think the one that they used in Young Justice, he was like I was saying, he always seems kind of cultured. Like, I mean, you wouldn't think of him as a caveman.
Yeah.
Because he's lived everywhere. He kind of adopts almost Elizabethan manners.
English and
Yeah. He's
Really?
he's very cultured. He's always dressed very well. like the whole drinking out of goblets and stuff like that. I would like to see that.
It's like Lil Jon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to see that version of it. That would be very cool. And I think he's much more menacing like that. So I think that would be the best one. So hopefully that'll be what they go with for the Flaro universe.
Cool.
So.
And aside from like him just being immortal and having, can he do, what more can he do again? Like what's his?
He's got increased strength, stamina, speed,
super intelligent,
and he's genius level intellect, and that's the biggest thing. He's a genius, and he's seen all this stuff. He's been through all these things. He's seen the mistakes of history.
Wow.
And so I think that's where the big menace comes from him, is that he's been around, he's seen everything. So that's where it really comes from him.
I bet he probably knows every fighting style,
exactly,
every weapon. He'll probably pick up the violin and play it.
Because if you think about it, if you've had unlimited time to do whatever you want,
yeah, I would learn everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. I would. I could see how you get bored.
Yep. That absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like an exciting character.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. So that's our character spotlight on Vandal Savage. We're going to take a break, and coming up right after that, we're going to explore the multiverse.
Our hailing frequencies are always open. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search Ninja Troll Digicast, or drop us an email at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi. I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
Well, before I left my campsite, I was putting out my fire, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear showed up and hugged me?
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when people correctly put out their campfires. He's pretty big on wildfire prevention. He's just letting you know you did good with a hug. He's a hugger.
I just got a bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update!
All right, I'm going to let you go now. I've got a lot of ranger stuff to do. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Your weekly dose of the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, now we're back on the Ninja Troll Digicast, and it's time to head for the misty borderlands and explore the multiverse.
Now it's time to explore the multiverse. On the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, now this week we're heading to Earth S. We've been to Earth 1, 2, 3, A, X, and now we're headed to Earth S. And this is now we're getting to we started last week with Earth X,
which introduced characters from which
Quality Comics. Quality Comics. Now we're getting to the point to where we're introducing characters from companies that National Periodicals or DC Comics bought. So they're giving them their own Earth.
Yes.
And this is the Fawcett Comics characters, including Captain Marvel and the Marvel family, Bullet Man and Bullet Woman.
Yeah, the Squadron of Justice.
Squadron of Justice, yes. Yeah. And what's it? Something in Pinky? What was the guys?
We got let's see who else is in the Pinky.
Spy Smasher, Mr. Scarlet, and Pinky. And right. Ibis the Invincible.
Yeah, Ibis.
Ibis, pardon me.
Yeah.
And the Ibis stick.
The Ibis stick is very important. It's like Starman's Star Rod.
That's right. Yeah, the Cosmic Rod.
Cosmic Rod.
Can't forget that. Okay. Let's take it away. Take us to Earth S.
Thank you for that stunning lead-in, Tibby G. And yes, we're in Justice League 135, 136, and 137, a triple header.
Yeah, this is a 3-parter.
This was a biggie. Yeah, it was a lot of stories and a lot of baddies. To take down in this this little thing, because there was a lot of great characters, right? So, right, DC is National Publications folding in these Golden Age characters, which apparently copyrights lapsed or went defunct or they acquired.
I think they acquired them. They bought them.
They're great characters.
Yeah, and Fawcett Comics I think was going out of business, and they bought it. Yeah,
but they bought their Superman, right? Captain Marvel and Superman have always been sort of on par.
Yeah, they actually sued Fawcett Comics.
Right, because it was so dang close.
Because Captain Marvel was so close to Superman. They actually sued Fawcett Comics.
Right, it was just a couple of colors off. I mean, there's no blue. I mean, that's really it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're looking at, as we said, 3 stories. So in 135, which came out October 76, and then the following 2 months, we have Crisis in Eternity, cover art by Ernie Chua. And then we have, now we're seeing where we have pencilers and, well, actually, not quite yet, colorists start to come in and start to be mentioned quite soon, which was I hadn't seen in these early Silver Age books.
You would get the inker, but that was it.
Well, we got Dick Dillon on pencil, Frank McLaughlin on ink, and then so there isn't just writers; they have plot and dialogue now broken up. So they have,
plot and continuity was Nelson Bridwell.
Yeah, and then Martin Pascoe. I guess
he was dialogue.
Yeah, he wrote the screenplay.
Yeah, basically.
I suppose. And
those. If you think about it, I don't know if that was a standard thing, but something like this was a 3-part. And like you said, it had a lot of heroes. Ooh. It had a lot of villains.
Right.
A lot of stuff going on. So maybe that was the thing. They
keep it going. Continuity.
They split it up for this big story.
And look at them, DC caring about continuity, which is amazing. And then our last guy, Ben Oda, was our letterer.
Okay.
Yeah, he had been in some previous stories. We didn't mention him, but
it still amazes me that they. I mean, obviously it had to be, but it's still, when I think about somebody sat down and actually hand lettered all these things.
And it looks great. You can read
it looks
it all.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
It looks,
it looks typed.
Yeah, it looks typed. Exactly.
Yeah, but now type does it all. So,
yeah.
But yeah, he's one of those greats who I think sort of really made this comic book lettering style, really sort of a thing into its own.
Yeah, the fonts that we download now are based on
their handwriting that they spent hours on.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Timmy mentioned, we're in Earth S, which is an alternate world, and we're sort of going to be introduced to the Marvel family and their incarnation there. And our big baddie is a guy named King Kull, who it's funny because we were talking has a very similar origin.
to
Vandal
think
Savage.
This may very well be kind of a version of Vandal Savage because he was a caveman and it never mentions any kind of meteorite or anything that keeps him. That doesn't explain why he's still alive.
No,
at
he's
all
in space.
Yeah,
I mean he flies around and he can fly at the speed of light. And he's got all this great stuff, super strength. He's huge.
He's one hairy son of a bitch. I tell you that.
Well, you got to be, man, if you're going to be a barbarian like that. And he's got a lot of great onomatopoeia, like kind of going on, and like he's like ho ha ha.
Yeah,
right?
his
like
laughter kills me. Ha ho ha.
Yeah, right.
He's always...
There you go. You got the inflection, Timmy. And he's King Kull, Lord of the Beastmen.
Yeah.
So he's a Hanna-Barbera character if we ever saw one.
And he's got the big Viking helmet with the horns on it.
Fangs. Right. He's just hairy in space.
Yards,
he don't need a spacesuit.
Nope.
Right. He ain't cold.
Yeah, nobody does apparently.
So just a quick synopsis here, right? So we're in Earth S, the universe, the home of Captain Marvel and other superheroes. And the brutish King Kull invades and takes over the Rock of Eternity, right, which we know is Shazam's sort of headquarters, where the wizard Shazam lives, who gave Captain Marvel his powers, right? And I'm not totally up on the origin of the Marvel family, but I can only imagine that they acquired them similarly. But
yeah, I know Captain Marvel Jr. doesn't say Shazam; he says
something else.
He says Marvel. Because that's his idol.
So he must have got, because I've read this in the 52 series where Black Adam gives Isis, this woman, he makes her into Isis, but she's like, I think her younger brother's like crippled, and he becomes like a young Black Adam, or like he might be another god. I forget that they
Okay.
name him. But yeah, they yell like
Yeah.
Black Adam, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, so I think that must be then Captain Marvel Jr. must.
Yeah, he
have,
said.
Yeah.
He says. I believe he actually mentions it here in the.
It's in the last issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They basically say that they're not. They can't do anything, and I think it was something we were talking about before we started recording. That they kept. This was. People had been looking for this for 20 years.
Right.
Because this is in 60. This is, what was it? 60.
This is 77 is when we see.
So
76 is when we see the fight.
So you're looking at 30 years that people have been wanting to see Captain Marvel versus Superman. So this is a 3-part story, and the third part is when you see Captain Marvel. The first 2 issues in this, Captain Marvel is not even he can't change.
Right.
Because the wizard Shazam has been captured
by King Kull.
So he can't change into Captain Marvel.
So what sets this all off is Shazam the wizard sends the god Mercury. He can communicate with him telepathically to basically go gather the heroes of Earth 1 and Earth 2 and Earth S to battle Kull's allies. So Kull has now sort of aligned himself with some other baddies. So essentially, Superman teams up with Wonder Woman of Earth 2 to stop Blockbuster, who's come back, and Queen Clea of Atlantis, while Green Arrow, which I suppose is Earth 1, and Spy Smasher battle Ebok and the Penguin.
Yeah.
Yes, the Penguin, right? The master of alliterations. Yeah. So basically, like, Kull has put a plan in place to annihilate. So he's sort of like attacked every place that could hurt him. Rock of Eternity, right, to stop Captain Marvel. Earth 1 and Earth 2 to try and stop the JLA and the JSA. So that's what the first issue is essentially about. Is just sort of setting those that Earth 2 that combo battle into the mix. So it's nice to see some more team ups and stuff against some more known villains. And that, they feel like the Batman villains can be a real threat to the rest of the Justice League and the Justice Society.
Well, you throw Green Arrow against him,
right?
So it's Ollie doesn't have any superpowers, so you're able to send.
And it's Gizmo against Gizmo.
Exactly.
Umbrella versus Bo.
Yeah.
And
you got Spy Smasher versus Iback.
Yeah.
He's
I wasn't familiar with Iback though.
He's not exactly smart.
Iback.
He basically tricked him, and he mixel-plicked him. You have to trick him into saying his name, and he turns back into
whatever form.
it was like a little wimpy janitor kind of dude.
Awesome. Okay. So right, we've seen jokes work, fooling people into saying things. It's knowing is half the battle. It's really true.
Right.
So Shazam basically could come in and probably solve all this, or Captain Marvel, I should say. Right, that's the sort of cliffhanger or the continuing story is that Billy Batson we start to see come out. Apparently, Billy Batson has a TV show. He's a news anchor.
He is, yeah, because originally
Tell me about that.
Originally in Wiz Comics, he was a paper boy,
right?
But then, as TV came along. So they moved him. He's working at a TV station.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, now he has a show, and he's on the air reading news. He was originally in Wiz Comics.
Yeah, now he's
WHIZ.
Yeah, the TV network.
The TV network.
They're
is
just
WHIZ.
milking that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
But we also got to see Earth 2 Batman come out of retirement.
Right, he had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, to help battle, and we're still seeing Robin, Earth 2 Robin Earth 1 Robin in his new suit. Yeah, that
was Earth 2 Robin. I think.
Was it? No, because Earth 2 Robin's grown up, so he gave that suit to Earth 1 Robin, who was still a teenager when they did that battle. I forget.
Why was Earth 1 Robin hanging out with Earth 2 Batman?
Yeah, it was that roll call.
But they were riding in the Batmobile at some point when they were talking about it. Okay.
They were the classic looking Batmobile.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Earth 2 Robin.
Is it?
But yeah, you're right. At the end of
yeah, because he gave him that suit in the
yeah.
Wow.
So he gave the suit to maybe the Earth 1 Robin gave him that. Maybe gave the Earth 2 Robin that suit.
No, could have been. All
I
right.
don't know.
Well, it is the Earth 2 Robin.
Yeah.
So in the second issue, right, with Shazam gone, right, no longer to transform the Marvel family into the superheroes. We now have right JLA and JSA team ups happening, but now there's a new team called the Squadron of Justice.
Yes.
And they are heroes on Earth S, and we have let's see, Bullet Man, Bullet Girl. Who else we got here? Who else is in this?
Spy Smasher.
Spy Smasher.
You got Mr. Scarlet and Pinky.
Yep,
His
Mr. Scarlet and
sidekick.
Pinky. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see here. So they, as we said, more team ups here. So we have now Batman and Robin of Earth 2. So yeah, that is Earth 2 Robin. And Mr. Scarlet and Pinky overcome the Earth 2 Joker and the Weeper.
Yes.
While Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
I don't know the Weeper much at all.
Yeah.
He basically just stands there crying all the time.
Yeah, he does crocodile tears for his. Yeah.
I don't know where that guy came from. But.
Yeah, he's mildly sad. And, maybe he has his power of empathy.
Batman just punches him out.
Yeah, that's it. Just knocks him out. Then we have Hawkman and Hawkgirl from Earth 1 team up with Bullet Man and Bullet Girl, which is kind of a cool team up because they're all flying to defeat Dr. Light and the Shade.
Yeah,
which is a pretty cool fight.
So this is the villain Dr. Light,
right.
Which in Crisis we introduced the new Dr. Light, who's
good.
a superhero. Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Because she takes over in Crisis.
Yeah.
She's basically it's her first appearance as the
Yep.
new Dr. Light. So that's essentially what happens in that second issue. Is we're sort of still now having battles here and there. But this gets good in the third one. So the battle's now on Earth 1. And the two Flashes and Mercury, which frankly I was like, why has Jay Garrick got a shirt off? I was like, Comics Code, what's going on here? But it's in fact Mercury, right?
Yes.
The god. So
And they never referenced the fact that they're both wearing the same helmet.
You would have thought maybe they would have said, you know what? So you got some nice fashion there, Mr. Mercury. But it never comes up. They're in Crisis, so it's
True. Yeah.
So they fight this super robot called Mr. Atom. Who's pretty powerful. He sort of commands this like black aura, which is quite interesting because it's something that they then use later on. And I was thinking like, wow, does this have anything to do with like Blackest Night? Because I know the Black Lanterns, their powers are weird and they ooze and do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe this was the sort of seed for that story to come later. So we have Ibis, right, who is sort of a god himself with the Ibis stick.
Yep.
And he joins up with the two Green Lanterns, and they fight Brainiac.
Yeah.
But this is the Brainiac that's not the robot one. He's got the green skin.
Yeah.
He looks like Brainiac 5.
Yeah, he is a robot. That's just his form.
His new right.
Yeah.
It's a different version, I guess, because Brainiac's had multiple forms throughout the years. Even in Convergence, he was like a big, crazy, floating head, kind of out of a Transformers movie kind of thing. The hero of the day, Johnny Thunder.
Of course.
He's always comes through. He's always late. He's always high somewhere.
Yeah,
right? He's always like smoking weed with his Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
And then they're like, dude, I think we need to like be somewhere.
But I love how they told him, I don't remember who, it was Mercury told him to go find the Marvel family. But he doesn't tell him what to do.
No, he's just plug it into your GPS, you'll find it. It'll all work out.
So he just figures, since he's there, it's got to have something to do, because why would he send him elsewise? It's got to have something to do with his Thunderbolt.
Right, so the Thunderbolt actually allows, it acts as the conduit lightning to then hit the Marvel family, and then they, Shazam!
Yep.
They change, and we get the Marvel family, they're looking all fierce and ferocious. So now we have, so the JLA, the JSA, and the Shazam's Squadron of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
have all defeated the villains that they've taken on, including Mr. Atom, who the Green Lanterns sort of outwit with their rings. It's a pretty good fight. They're getting ready to now sort of retake the Rock of Eternity, which is ground zero for the big fight. Cull's there, all that great stuff. But Cull whips out, red kryptonite, which we quoted Lost Boys, right, last week. And I actually watched the other night because I was so excited to relive that part, right?
Nice.
And, you can't put the Superman 200s next to the 57s because they haven't discovered red kryptonite
yet.
So, Timmy, can you please discover red kryptonite for us and tell us what it is?
Red kryptonite actually changes, instead of making him weak, it changes Superman and makes him evil. So it actually in here especially it enrages him.
Right. Which is great and helps us set up that final fight.
Exactly, yeah.
But where did it come into, like, cuz this is 1975, right? Or 1976. When was it introduced?
It was Red Kryptonite debuted in Adventure Comics 252 in 1958.
Oh, okay.
Originally,
So
it just weakened Superman, but to a greater degree. Later, it caused bizarre behavior and transformations.
Cool.
So that's what. If you watch, I think it's Superman 3. When he gets when they try to simulate kryptonite, and it makes him act all weird. That's kind of the way it makes it.
The way they brought it into the cinematic universe.
He basically turns evil, and he starts drinking. Even though Superman, how's he going to get drunk? But
right.
But yeah, so it was introduced in the 50s.
Okay, so it's not a relatively new thing, but it seems like they've evolved the meaning.
Yeah, but it's a weird isotope of kryptonite.
Oh, isotope! They're a great baseball team.
Yes.
So Cull now enrages Superman with this red kryptonite to make him evil. So he's quite aware that this has effect on him. And now we get to see the ultimate showdown between Captain Marvel.
The geeks are going crazy.
Oh, man. I went crazy. I was so excited because on the cover you have this Alex Ross version of them flying at each other. And I've seen, Shazam and in like Kingdom Come, for example, they do a battle, which they beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
So
and I mean, it's always been said that Captain Marvel is actually more powerful.
Well, he's got magic because one of Superman's weaknesses is magic.
Yeah.
So in order to...
And again, like we were saying, he outsmarts him.
Right.
Because he does have magic, and he knows that magic is a weakness of his. Marvel gets with Shazam, and they figure out this plan.
Right. And it's an interesting plan, I will say. But yeah, he sort of, gives him we have to sort of trick him. They don't tell us exactly how he's going to do it. So here we have, the enraged Man of Steel is made even angrier by the red-clad hero's tauntings. He says, "Here I am, you mindless lunkhead, the only superhero stronger than you. Go ahead, lay one on me, I dare ya." And then he says, "Grr, we'll kill you, Marvel, must kill."
Must kill.
So for many years...
It's like Man of Steel.
Exactly. So, Timmy, it's not new, Those few in the cosmos who knew the existence of both Superman and Captain Marvel have wondered what would happen if they met. Oh, man. So people's toes are curling.
I told you.
Perhaps now they'll get the answer, but it just might be a tragic one. But wait, the good captain's lips are moving, forming a familiar word that can only be Shazam. And they're flying right at each other.
Yeah.
And then, so at that moment, he basically transforms into Billy again.
Yeah, and the lightning hits both of them.
Right, and they're smoking and charred. And Billy starts to fall to the ground, and it causes Superman to snap out of what's going on. And then he goes and saves Billy. That's the end of it.
Yeah, it goes from this big conflict that we've been wanting to see for years to wrapping up the entire story in one page.
I was so like, wow. And then all of a sudden I was like,
boom, we're done.
Oh, here we go. Next story. Okay.
We're done.
We're in the 30th century now. That was a little fast, which I didn't appreciate.
So basically the magic lightning knocked all the red kryptonite out of him, which the Green Lanterns tried to do that by making their rings
simulate
into
green
kryptonite.
Yeah, right. But it didn't work.
To weaken him or to knock him out of it. But
it made it worse.
Yeah, but the lightning knocked it out of him, and basically they took the chance that it would wake him up, and then he would
Appeal
save
to
Billy.
His, hero nature.
Yeah, he would save Billy when he saw him falling.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, it's sort of.
He explains that to him in the top 3 panels. Then you've got one wide panel where you see Cull in chains, even though.
Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, that's the Space Ghost resolution music. Dun, 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 dun. Jan, Jace. Cole gets wrapped up in mystic chains that would never be broken.
Yeah, not even by Hercules.
Not even Hercules.
And then
Hercules.
And then you get the huge panel of all the heroes. There's like 22 of them.
And cue the dun, 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 dun. Right, the invisible jet taking off as well at the
jet.
back.
There's some other
flying
device up there. I don't know what that is, but you get
that might be Batplane because I'm not seeing Batman.
No, there's a Batmobile.
Oh yeah, there it is.
You see the Batmobile down at the bottom.
Bat face.
So you see, this is I love that Batmobile the best. It's the one with the bat face on the front.
The
I love that
ram face. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Robin. Who's not in the car? Batman is.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Allen, Flash, Jay Garrick, Flash,
All the Squadron, Green Arrow, both Green Lanterns, Bullet, the Hawks,
Thunderbolt carrying Johnny Thunder, and for some reason, Billy didn't turn back into Captain Marvel.
No, they kept him Billy.
They kept him Billy, and the Captain Marvel Jr. and Mary are carrying him.
Hold my hand.
Yeah.
So from that roll call, I guess we'll have to assume. I wonder who that might be, because we don't. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the roster pretty much of folks who are in this story.
Is it the Bullets? No, they
was
are.
both Bullets. Mr. Scarlet.
That's Spy Smasher.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Spy Smasher. All right, he's got a cool spy plane.
Yeah, of course.
And that's it. There's no special way they get home, no magic, nothing. They just all return to their universes, and that resolves it.
I mean, and Cull brought them there.
Mm-hmm.
So, we don't even get like a special way that they're going now. Apparently, it's just like a revolving door. You can go in between the Earths with no problem.
Yeah, no transmatter cubes, nothing like that. So that does it for our Earth S story.
Yeah.
All right, on the scale of things, I think this was just sort of it was sort of like a medium to introduce the Fawcett family into things.
I liked it. It was a good story, and you got to see, like we said, I mean, it was a little disappointing when it happened, but you get to see Marvel versus Superman.
Yeah. And I really like the covers, like the Ernie Chua. I mean, he's sort of a new guy. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. But, we've been seeing sort of some previous Neil Adams, right, some other folks coming. We're getting back into that era because we went back for Earth X.
Yeah.
Some of the unnamed crises were sort of dispersed.
Yeah, kind of out of order, yeah.
But coming up next, we have JLA 147 and 148, October 1977 and November 1977, which is Crisis in the 30th Century.
So now we get the Legion of Superheroes.
Yes.
So we've got the Justice League, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Black Canary.
Right.
Then we got Justice Society.
Power Girl, Hawkman, Flash, Green Lantern, Dr. Fate.
And then the Legion, Sun Boy,
yeah,
Brainiac 5, Wildfire, and Princess Projectra.
Oh, yeah.
It's a horrible name.
It's my girl. Hey, Timmy, don't be talking about Princess. Okay, we go way back.
It says
the 29th century.
19 superheroes.
It's a giant Justice League.
Yes, it is.
So this was let's hope it's not a giant something.
Well, on the first page or second page, you see Wildcat. He's in there too.
Cool.
And there's a bunch more of the Legion in there. Yeah.
Psycho Pirates in this one.
Oh, nice.
Mordrew.
Star Spangled Kid also.
All right.
Yeah, so you get some of the All-Star Squadron as well.
Awesome.
They're just throwing everybody in here.
Yeah, this is going to be a super crossover.
Yeah.
And this is, Power Girl. We all know her with her little die cut costume.
Yeah.
This is pre-die cut. I think the comics code was a little more
Yeah.
strict.
And that's a thing. We've talked about it before. How in some storylines, Supergirl and Power Girl are the same character.
Right.
I think maybe next week we'll do a character spotlight on her too, or both of them, kind of
cool
to see where they vary and because Power Girl is called Kara,
right?
So
Kara L,
yeah, and that's Supergirl. So I think and maybe we'll do a character spotlight on her next week, and that'll go along with the
release
exploring the multiverse, and it'll go along with the TV show that's coming up,
right? Which is just Supergirl. It's not
just
not
Supergirl.
Power Girl.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we may do that next week. We'll take a look at the Legion. What was it? Crisis in the 30th Century.
Crisis
what
in
it's
the 30th
called.
Century. Yes.
And we'll do a character spotlight of Power Girl, and that'll all go together. So
awesome.
But that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of the Ninja Troll Digicast. Remember, for all the latest news from all around geek culture, make sure you follow us on social media, facebook.com/Ninja Troll Digicast. On Twitter, you can find us at Ninja Troll Show, and Instagram at Ninja Troll Digicast. And you can always visit us at NinjaTrollDigicast.com. While you're there, click on the subscribe to iTunes button to get the Ninja Troll on iTunes. And also, you can go to our YouTube page, it's Ninja Troll Digicast. YouTube.com/Ninja Troll Digicast. We're taking some of our segments like this, like the Exploring the Multiverse, and our talk last week about the Comics Code Authority, and just placing those up on the YouTube page. And also, these episodes, as we finish when we post them online, they're also going to post on the YouTube page, so you can listen to full shows and various special segments right there on our YouTube page. So that's going to do it for this week. Make sure you join us next week. Same Ninja time, same Ninja channel.
You've been listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Tune in next time when you'll hear Mike say,
The Zen philosopher Basho once wrote, "A flute with no holes is not a flute, and a donut with no hole is a Danish."
This is the Ninja Troll Digicast, the defenders of all things geek culture.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.